Let's fucking go.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
I can't do anything right these days. Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus. You're very welcome to an episode number 84 of the Hope Show weekly live stream dedicated to 1/6 scale collecting in general. TVs, movies, pop culture, all that type of thing. We got a pretty stacked panel here today, so seeing as I was late, and it's entirely my fault because I have no excuse, we're going to bring in everyone and get this started right from the start. We got Trevor, we got Bob, we got Ian, we got Eddie, we have Phil, and we have Dan. Evening, gentlemen. Good to see you all. Thanks very much for giving up your time on this Monday evening. How are we all doing?
All
Excellent.
good.
Pretty good.
A bit sun-kissed like yourself, Shane.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a bronze god, man. I'm a bronze god. Okay? I'm a bronze god. I'm an honorary member of LWO, so I'm just trying to look the part, man. You know? I'm working on it. Yeah, so I'm slightly less white today. That's the best I can hope for.
Yeah, I look more English than any of you guys, man. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, man. You'd fit in. You'd fit in Ireland, man.
Too much Baldur's Gate, I guess, in the last couple of days.
Yeah. No, that weather is actually amazing in Ireland for the last 2 weeks. Like, I opened up a weather app, just the normal standard iPhone weather app, and it's set to my location. Like, I was in Drogheda one morning, and you know what I mean? Now it does like a week and a half. There was a sun. I had to look up what the fucking symbol was, to be honest. But there was this thing that remembered the sun in every single day for the next week and a half. What, about a week and a half ago? And I swear to God, the sun is over here. Something we read about in books. I don't think I've ever seen that on the app before. Like, it was like if you look up Dubai and it's just like 40 degrees, sun. But it was just maybe about 20 degrees and lots of sun. So same weather over in Wales and Scotland and England. Would that be right?
Yep, exactly the same. So that's me conditioned for a holiday in Dubai next month. So.
Oh, you're going to Dubai, yeah?
Yeah.
Eddie. He is rich, isn't he? He is rich. You got Ian money, man.
Half, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
You can try and hide.
What's caviar like?
Exactly.
Ian here slumming it. And why are you going to Dubai? Just for sun and just nice hotels and stuff?
Lucy's actually never been, so and it's been 20 years since I was there. I've got a friend out there. It's not the best month to go, as you'll know. So we've got to time some stuff. Lucy's a sun worshipper, so she just needs to go out in the sun 10 minutes, and you know, she's like Crizot.
She tans easy, does she?
Yeah. So yes, so she likes it. So just thought it's just us. Get away.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
So
it's a great place to go and kind of just check into a nice hotel and a nice pool and sun and read a book and have a few beers. It's what do you want?
We're staying at the marina area, so we'll be there.
Nice. That's a nice area.
What's your daughter smashing up while you're away?
Sorry?
What's your daughter smashing up while you're away?
Yeah. I better put a lock in my
new
two rooms with all my figures.
So that was like that was her impression of Thor then with the hammer, the thing you showed us. Yeah, bit of DIY. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that was Lucy that put her up to that.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they didn't take a hammer through the steel beams, because it's load-bearing walls. They didn't think that bit was load-bearing walls. It could have been extremely costly.
Why was she breaking down that particular part? Are you doing renovations or?
Women are from Venus, men are from Mars.
Okay, say no more, man. Say no more. All right, guys. Will we get right into it?
That.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue. You want to get right into it?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what we have. We're just gonna get right into the topic there. So, Ian, go and lead us out there. What would you like to talk about? Can we maybe hold off Andor for a while? We're gonna warm Eddie up first of all, and then you unleash the fury. So we'll maybe leave that to the latter part of the show, and we'll put up a spoiler warning, of course. And okay, what do you want to talk
Did you
about?
see that, Eddie? What we were talking about in the pre-show, not going straight to the main meal.
Yes.
You've got to play about with it, you know. Yeah,
Little.
you young boys.
That's
right.
I'm so glad I missed all that because the internet dropped. But anyway, Go on,
let's go for new. Let's go for new.
cool. I didn't get anything, so I'm just gonna be a passenger here and just listen. Take it away, boys.
Well, I have got them here, so I've had them for just under a week. So I got
Nice.
Old Man Indy,
Oh, nice.
and it's head sculpt looks a bit funny there, but it's really the figure's really good. I'm not sure about the leather jacket.
Really? What is
Yes.
that? What don't you like about it?
It's the lining's good. It's very thin. It is very pleather-like, in my opinion. If I was to compare that to, has anybody got the Present Toys blade with the real leather outfit? That feels like genuine leather, but for me, it's quite thin. I'm assuming it definitely is genuine leather, but it's got that pleather feel. So, but overall, I really like the figure. Yeah, and you know, leather whip, wired. It's really good. You can do a lot with it. So,
Anyone want to take a joke about the leather whip? No.
He knows what it feels like.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do.
This is a custom leather jacket, and it's very thin too. But it is that leather, and it's really well done. So if they've kind of followed this, it's good that it's not too thick though, because it never falls well. And
yeah, not for it to be thick, but it's not got that feel. It's just so you're right in terms of it being too thick. Then it looks,
yeah,
you know, it looks like
bulky
a wee boy
and-
in his dad's 1970s
Exactly.
leather jacket sort of thing.
So like we could inevitably encounter that issue with the full leather DX46, the battle damage T800 2.0, and the cleaning as well. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's okay. I was expecting a bit more, to be honest. But the figure's great. The eyes have got to be a certain way, otherwise he just looks dead.
I thought that sculpt was incredible though. I saw the blogger images and like
No,
I think they nailed.
The sculpt's
Man
really
Indy.
great, and when it's in the display, when light hits it properly, it really comes to life. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it.
Cool, good stuff. I'm not even going to ask Trevor what that custom leather jacket cost alone. But
Yeah,
it's expensive.
probably more than any leather jacket that I own. But which is really stupid, but whatever. It's nice though, and it'll last. Like if you know, I don't even really do anything with it. I have like pleather cleaner for some of the pleather stuff, but it's been really solid. So if it's anything like that, you'll be fine. It feels thin. It feels a little, I don't know, not cheap, but like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. If you haven't had anything like that before, then it feels a little weird, but it should be fine.
Okay.
Just got in just now. This is Darth Maul, the set.
Oh,
The new one.
did you get with the one with the 2.0 with the blood fin, or did you go without the
I
blood
did.
fin? Or
No, got the blood
Yeah.
fin. Yep, got the blood fin. And the only other thing,
Phil hates the blood fin. Absolutely despises it. triggering.
Okay.
It's
You want
true.
to
I'm saying
talk about
it
that,
'cause
Phil?
It's true. Okay. Go on.
You want to talk about that, Phil? You want to talk about no? And this isn't new, but I did just open it. This is the cherry blossom.
Yeah.
Which is,
And you actually went to the source on that, didn't you?
which is really the only reason I kept it because and bought it, because it's kind of like, unlike those teacup ones and the gold ones and stuff. I mean, it's kind of, a memento.
You were there.
Yeah, from the Star
You were
Wars
there.
collection. So,
Ah,
and
it's sketchy.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. It looks like somebody just woke him up on vacation or something.
Yeah.
I don't
It reminds me of that scene in Pulp Fiction. Wasn't the Dieter or someone
yeah,
wearing the kind of
yeah.
that's your man. He's kind of wearing his I call it a kimono, but I know it's not a kimono. You gave me the right name for it, Ian. What was the name for it?
Yuri.
Hey,
Harry.
Yep.
What about anyone else? Dan, Phil, anyone get something in? Eddie? No?
Yeah, I've got similar to Ian. I haven't opened him yet,
Ah, good stuff.
so I'm looking forward to that. And then opened this today. The
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
which is
good
really,
stuff.
really nice. Actually, I was quite.
Excellent
I
stuff.
mean, if you've got the one before, it's not that much different apart from the head sculpt. I mean, the body feel, as in, it's just refined a little bit better, but it didn't blow. It's not anything I've gone, oh my God, the head sculpt is amazing. But, it's obviously it's pleather and everything, and the body feels tighter because I remember the last one, the legs went a bit wobbly on the body, but it's brilliant. I mean, you can see it behind me there. It's up, and I'm just waiting to. We talked about it in the group about custom sabers, so I'm going to get a couple of LEDs. But the problem with that is just there. And also, I've got Batman coming this week, the new BBS 2.0.
Oh, right. Good
So that's
stuff.
been quite an expensive few weeks.
Yeah,
So
no doubt, man.
that's me done for a bit, to be honest. I've got to sort of that's a lot of my pre-orders done until like we get to like Han Solo, Chewie, and the T800, T1000. That's it for
Yeah.
me now until
Good
till
stuff.
that.
I think I'm in a similar
it's good.
boat. Although I'm waiting waiting for that feral predator. I ordered a slow batch with Line Rock, and they look, they will come true and everything, like. But I rewatched it. I actually watched it twice in the 1 week. I don't know. I just really like it, man. It was really well done. Then I watched Predator as well because I got the 4K. The 4K.
4K.
4K. Yeah, and it was pretty damn good, man. I was like, I was kind of watching. I was like, I don't remember this movie being this sharp, and I was like, yeah, because you're watching the 4K, and it was, yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So, yes, just nice when you're in the mood to watch a movie and it hits. Anyone else get anything new? I'm jealous of your space there, Bob.
Yeah, I've gone the opposite actually. I've just gone crazy and focused, and I've sold everything that's not Star Wars.
Oh wow!
All gone.
So you're literally
Because I'm just having to wipe the slate.
Why
I'm
is
just going to
that?
collect Star Wars.
Why is that? Just because you've got the buzz at the moment and it's like that, or is it just
A little bit of that. To be honest, Dan, I was seeing so many figures that I liked, and it was kind of branching out and all these things, and I was having odd sections of this and that just because I liked them. And Star Wars has always been my thing, since I was little. So I just think I've got to stick to it. Otherwise, I'm just getting carried away with the quality of figures coming through. So
I was the same as you, but now I've done the
Well,
opposite.
yeah.
I was all Star
gone the
Wars,
other way.
then I've gone the other way. Yeah, and it is hard. It's really hard because the thing
Yeah.
is because we haven't had a lot of Star Wars lately, have we? As in, Acolyte and everything. Now Rogue One's back. I think everyone's got that vibe for it again, if you know what I mean. Everyone's
Absolutely.
got that, Andor rather.
Yeah.
They've got that sort of love for Star Wars again, and I think it goes in. It goes in like that. Marvel will hit again.
Goes
with
in waves,
Fantastic
man.
Four. Yeah, waves.
Yeah.
And I've done it
Yeah.
before. I've gone right. That's it. I'm going all Star Wars, and then something else will come out and go right.
Hopefully
It's
it'll
going
stick.
back again.
I'm hoping it'll
It's
stick,
hard
mate.
to do, isn't it? It's hard to do. Because
Yeah.
once you do it,
Yeah.
it's hard to get things back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, Shane, I've just emailed you actually about a couple of your figures you got for sale. You can catch up later.
The funny thing about that, man, is
What we got, Shane?
the funny thing about that is. 1 second, I surely have a clip for that. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I
Right.
I didn't put up any post about figures
Yeah.
for sale or anything. So maybe, is it possible that someone on, I know there's a guy called 16 Figures Shot. Did someone else with a similar instance? Where did you see the post, or
On Facebook.
on Facebook?
Yeah.
I didn't actually put
What were you
anything
selling?
up.
What was he selling?
He was selling a Shore Trooper
I do have a
and
short
stuff
trooper.
like that. Yeah, Shore Trooper squad commander, wasn't it? And the tank guy.
And what did the name say?
It
Did
was
it say
yours.
my-
It was
my
your
actual
chain,
name?
your proper name. Yeah,
Oh, dude, you need to screenshot that and send it to me, because that's not me.
really.
Wow.
Oh, I will,
No,
mate.
Oh God, the view numbers just went up. A bit of drama. They could smell the spice.
On the
Can you?
But that's
Right.
odd, isn't it?
It
Because
is.
you've got
Yeah.
them for sale.
No, I don't have them for sale. Like I own them, but I don't have them for sale.
So someone's
So-
pretending to be you and selling your figures.
There's a
Oh,
sham
wow.
chain out there. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
telling you.
Well, I'm
Can
glad
you-
I mentioned this.
Go right now. Go on, screenshot
Yeah.
and send them to me. And
Yeah.
yeah, because
Wow.
we could
Oh, well.
sort that out. Because I do have both of those figures. I have the 3 variants of the short trooper, and I do have a transport trooper. Would that be right?
Yeah.
So send it on to me. That's definitely not me. So if anyone's watching, that's
Yeah, I've got it
definitely
here.
not me.
That's strange. I'll send it right now.
Send it on Instagram, and I'll take a look at it. Then we're
Yeah.
going through the topic. But anyone else
Them
got
up
anything
for
new?
Good price. So
Anyone else got anything new? All right. So look, we'll blast through some of these comments here. We got Jim Collector. He's not joining us tonight, but he's otherwise engaged. But he's a regular around these parts, and we miss you, Jim, and we'll see you again hopefully next week. Of course, he's a panel member and a channel member, same as Bob Tiny Art Guy and Rogue One Photography. We got Talia Meyer all the way from Germany. We also have the Caffeinated Comic Book Fan, who is a channel member. Resistances are built on hope. Absolutely. We got Geo the Movie Cannon, absolute gentleman, great channel. I do be watching him usually on the replay because it's in the middle of the night when his show is on, but I do quite enjoy the debates and the games. I have the soft spot for the games as well. We got Keith Lee, we got Therese Ertling, thanks very much for being here. We got another channel member, Dugito, thanks very much for being here. We got Mike Fayla with his exclamation marks. The Humble Collector UK. We also have, just making sure I have everyone, of course we got Eddie Money Mendez, he's a channel member, panel member here in the chat as well. The Imperfect Collector, thanks very much for joining us here as well. We got Robert, aka Feel the Burn, thank you very much for being here, thanks for joining us. We got Michael, aka the 12-inch Moose Dream, who is a channel member as well. Thanks very much for being here. He's given Geo a shout out there as well. I think I'm more or less up. As usual, the pinned comment is the link to become a channel member if you want to support the channel in that way, and absolutely no obligation, but it is greatly appreciated. We got Figurecraft Philly. Thanks very much for being here. Philly, did anyone see Philly's photo that he put up of the Vader? And I think it was Palpatine. It literally looked like a still from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like,
That's great.
no photographer has any business being that good. Go to Figurecraft on Instagram and just check out his photography. Absolutely just mind blown. Really, really good stuff. Who else do we have here? I think I'm up there. We got Thalia Mar. Yeah, we got everyone here. Okay, brilliant. That's up to date in the chat. So, anyone else want to shout out something they want to particularly talk about? They can line it up. Don't be shy, folks.
Let's talk about that Vader.
Let's talk about that Vader, indeed. All right, so... let's talk about that Vader. All right, take it away there. What you think?
Myself, I'm not getting this. I never liked this look for Vader, but it's a great looking figure. I mean, you can't beat this table and the whole pack out with this thing. It's nuts. It's very tempting, but I just wasn't a fan of this scene and never liked this outfit myself. But cool. Glad they did it. Looks great.
Was it Was
Yes.
it the no?
Yes. Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, just that and the whole, I don't know. It's just like Frankenstein thing. It was a little too on the nose for me. I don't know. Plus, I just never liked. I wanted him to look a little like a cleaner version of maybe the A New Hope suit, and it just I don't know.
How different
Head
is it from
sculpt's
the A New
amazing,
Hope?
though.
Well, the helmet's a little different. I mean, it's just a matter of putting the. I guess
He
the
does look
tabard-
skinnier.
Yeah, he's definitely skinnier.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I know the gloves are different. I
Yes.
can see the gloves are different.
This is a good
throws me off.
comparison.
Mm-hmm.
On the left, you got the MMS 700. This is the Return to Jedi one. And if you look at the chest boxes, they're completely different. You got the kind of like the three on the left. They're basically three red rectangles which blink in sequence, which is a really nice touch because we didn't have that in the Vader before. You got some painted on red and blue dots on the right, and then you got the belt boxes which do look very similar, but on the right there's definitely a difference. I actually prefer. I think I prefer the box on the right with the green. I don't know. I think the flash of green works very well. It'd be interesting to see if this has blinking LEDs like the Return to Jedi one. But yeah. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I like the build of the one on the right better. It just looks more up to date. I know that one isn't even old, the one on the left, but the one on the right just looks more up to date for me. I'm a big proponent of the traps on figures, and I feel like that one just doesn't have those block shoulders. It has a nice taper there, and I do like the height of it. And
That comes down to the design though of the suit itself, probably not necessarily the figure. Because if you look at the shoulder, the shoulders on the left, it's a completely different design. So they're recreating what they had on screen. You know, I get what you're saying though. It's more natural on the right.
As a toy, because it's a toy, I don't like it to look like. I want it to look as non-toy like as I can, and I feel like the left doesn't help that. I think
But I think that they have recreated what it looked like in the movie, if that makes sense.
That's fine. Yeah,
because he would have been.
Plus,
well, David Prowse is on the left, isn't it?
This is. I don't know who's going to pose it with that cape, like sitting halfway over the pauldrons. Anyway, like it's just that you'd have that kind of hanging down anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, the sculpt looks great. The unmasked sculpt looks fantastic. So
yeah. Are they both LEDs? Like, because I've only got the Empire one, so I'm not too sure. You know, do the lights work on an LED? So you just plug it in and it just.
Do you mean the belt and the chest?
The belt, yeah.
Yeah, I have that exact figure, the MMS 700, behind me, and the chest box lights up and the belt boxes light up and the chest box blinks, and that is like all goes into a little pack. Yeah, a little pack on the back. Wow, there's no batteries, so it actually is really convenient. And then I swapped out the LED saber because on the back there's like a junction box with 3 ports. One for a little wire, they're all in the back for the chest box, one for each of the belt boxes, and then one for the saber, and then it's just a USB out. But I don't use the saber one. I have a Neo LED because it's just.
And that plugs in the back. You can use that in the back, can you? Or is it a different?
The saber does, but I don't use the saber. So 4 things plug into the back. Yeah, everything plugs into the back.
But you've got a custom saber. Can you not plug
that? That does not plug into the back. No, that's just as a USB. So I just hide it. Behind the cape, and then that comes out like there's. He's on the bottom shelf, so I've drilled a hole on the bottom of the shelf, and the wires for the belt box and the chest box that goes out, and then another USB goes out the bottom.
I might pick that. I like because I've got the Empire one, which is great because I love Empire. It's my favourite movie, but I do like the fact that you can use the LED light up thing all the time. Like on the back. Yeah. So I might pick up the Jedi one. So the Jedi one's good. Everyone's got the Jedi one, haven't they? Here, most of you lot.
I did. It's a great figure. Really great figure.
Yeah, I might do that. Have you got it in?
The way I look at my Vader collection, I've got what I want. I've got the New Hope, first time we see him, and Return of the Jedi is my definitive when you get to see
okay, yeah, I might pick that up. I might pick it up actually, yeah.
Do you have the Empire one, Shane?
I've got the Empire one, which I love.
I only have the Jedi one.
I really like the 40th.
That one next to the Empire one. Yeah, the 40th. That's the one I thought that was the Empire one.
That is. Yeah, it was the Empire one, wasn't it? With the best spin sort of.
Yeah.
Step
Yeah.
from it, yeah.
I had that one for a while too, and I really liked that one.
I know.
That head sculpt's great. There's just so
Yeah,
much
that
pain.
is
really good.
So
Look
much
at that.
pain.
Wow.
He just looks like a
amazing.
guy that's come out of the court after being divorced and taken to the
Jeez.
cleaners.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
The streets of Glasgow.
Yeah, that was like that on Saturday. That was there. My God.
Yeah. This, I mean, we've talked about this before, but what a time to be a collector where we're getting head sculpts like this. I mean,
Yeah.
that is unreal.
The ear
That's
is
never-
amazing, isn't it?
That's never going to heal if he doesn't stop picking it. It's just
Oh,
God.
mate. It's
It's so good.
it's too good
It is
not
incredible.
to use, isn't it?
I'm
It's
not
too
gonna
good not
use
to have it, keep it in the
I hate
box.
it.
I mean, look at that. It's like, oh my god.
you hate it.
Yeah, if I have an unmasked Vader, it's gonna be Sebastian Shaw. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about the Return of the Jedi when it comes
Yeah.
with that sculpt, and it's pretty damn incredible. Like.
Yeah, I just never.
I always
liked
think though he
that
didn't.
look
He
of him.
never was. He never was like that though, was he? Sebastian Shaw. He wasn't ever. I mean, they took off at the end, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this is. And to be fair, nor is this one. It's just exactly the same sort of thing, isn't it? When
I'll
it
show
was
you.
just about to go on.
This is how he looked. If you want to display him, if you want it to be a canon, you display him like
It's that, isn't
like
it?
that.
Yeah.
To be honest, okay, you know I'm not going to get this anyway because it's prequels. But if I was like, if I had I think this is a Vader for if someone doesn't want it to be their only Vader. Like, I think maybe if you're a diehard fan and you've multiple different Vaders, you've got your clean representation, maybe you've got your Kenobi and you're like, just love all the Vaders. I genuinely would pose him like this because you're incorporating the head sculpt, you're incorporating the helmet parts and the droids and all that. I think that would be really cool because you'd have your other Vader for your clean display. But that's just me. I
Oh, it's
kind of have
amazing.
my.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I was
I
planning
did.
to use him as my only Vader.
Were you? Yeah.
Not with
But
the
you
base though.
Yeah. You really
Just-
like.
Yeah,
this,
I just
yeah,
like
yeah.
the build and how his height, but I don't know the. Well, I used to not really notice the subtle differences, but now that I stream and people point them out, now I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I notice them now. But
Yeah, Dean reckons this one is the best he's ever looked on screen because he said it's symmetrical, whereas a lot
Yeah.
of the other ones were asymmetrical. And
See,
Like,
that's
even-
what I like about them, though.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be symmetrical to look good, but
Yeah.
I get what he's saying. That's like he's able to clearly pick out it is symmetrical, and I do think it's a sweet looking helmet. I for me, it's just always going to be. If like you want your definitive representation, I'd probably go for one from Empire, but because the one from Jedi came with the sculpt and the blinking box and stuff like that, I think it's probably the best. I think it's probably the best Vader out there at the moment in terms of like your value for money, and you know you get the sculpt and then you get the blinking box and stuff like that.
It's not that different to Empire, though, Shane, is it? Because obviously, like
No,
I said,
they're-
Empire, it's
it-
not. I mean,
it- again,
the helmet's slightly different, isn't it? But
You don't get that you don't get the Sebastian Shaw head sculpt
Yeah.
obviously with the Empire one, and like even I know it's not canon, but I have posed them just there, you know, unmasked
yeah.
with the sabers. Still looks
Yeah.
cool, like, but
Yeah, that's the way I have it.
yeah,
too.
like if I was to really split hairs, I'd want a Vader from Empire from the Bespin dueling scene, but I'm happy with what I have at the moment. Whereas like Vader, like Dave Prowse was a bodybuilder, like he was big jacked, wasn't he? And
yeah.
like it's obvious that it's not Dave Prowse in the suit when he stands up in Revenge of the Sith, because he's definitely skinnier looking. Like if
It's
you
Hayden
take
Christensen, isn't it? It's actually
yeah,
him.
it is
Yeah.
him, yeah. But like it still looks good. But like there I could see it, like it kind of looks a bit like
Yeah.
someone who's paid a lot of money for a really, really good screen accurate Revenge of the Sith armor,
Yeah.
but it's just a
Yeah.
little bit too skinny to pull it off. You know, someone who's like 6 foot something but just doesn't have the mass, which is why I'm surprised that you like this one, Eddie, because you know, like when the person's like physically imposing,
Yeah.
but
he never.
do you not think he
seemed-
looks a little skinny?
No, he does in that picture, and yeah, when it gets pointed out to me, yeah, he's skinny. But Vader, growing up as a kid, I never thought he was that.
I like you can cross the arms. I like that.
He always looked tall to me,
That looks cool.
but
Yeah.
like
Mm.
he never looked blocky to me. So,
Yeah.
but it's more of a. I'm telling you, for me, it's more of like a toy thing. Like it looks like an older toy on the left. Then this just looks more updated to me.
It does.
That's what-
It does look good. Like, I will say that. I like the
Yeah.
helmet on it. I like the proportions, but I'm like, I always in my mind, maybe it's my mind's eye, because I know that Dave Prowse was a unit, but like it just, he always did seem a bit sturdier than what some of these photos say or suggest.
My
All in all, I think the best representation. I still think the one that came with the Tarkin, or even
Yeah,
the
I've
Rogue
heard
One
that.
one. The
That's still the
Tarkin one
best
is my
one.
favorite. I think.
So it'd be a good sign that everyone's arguing like for a different Vader. Like, you know, like Eddie's like in the Revenge of the Sith one, like I'm like in the Return of the Jedi one. There's definitely an argument for that Kenobi Vader, because that's pretty damn incredible. Ian was talking about the New
It's
Hope.
nice.
You're saying they do pretty good with Vaders. Be a fair statement.
The my first thought when I saw it was I really want that operating table, like a lot, because I want to do that scene where he's breaking his arm off, or when he's screaming no. I really like that scene at the end of Revenge of the Sith. So, but then I saw the price of it, and I was like, it's not worth $200 more just for that damn table. And then as I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, these figures really do get taken to another level when they have a dio piece or something to put with them. Like, it enhances it so much that there's an argument to say that it's like the price is not, it's, you know, you can look past the price just to have that extra bit of realism or a scene or whatever. So I had ordered the original without, because I also like the one that the regular one, the stand it comes with. I like that stand more than this stand, obviously, and I was gonna have it that way, but I do really want that table. So now I'm thinking if I should switch it to the deluxe to get the table. I'm kind of going back and forth on it.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. It's is anyone like 100% in on the all in? So Eddie, you said you're back and forth on the table.
I'm getting one of
And,
them. I just don't know which one yet.
Anyone else in on this? No. Anyone else want to give another thought on it? Or
Prequel haters, eh? I hate this.
but like, you probably are the youngest on the panel. Wouldn't that make a difference?
Yeah.
Like, are you 30 or 30?
30. I'll be 33 this year, so I'm getting there, man. I'm getting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, but you're still you got more time than we have left.
Every year I get
Wow.
every
Lovely
year
look
I
at
get
it.
more and more gray hairs. Pretty soon I'll look
Yeah.
like all you guys.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that was a slight comment, you prick. All right, so Stanley's saying it's a trap. Caffeinated comic fan. I switched for my Empire for Jedi because its proportions are so much better, plus the sculpt and the light ups.
I can see
That's
that.
true.
That's good to know for me. Thanks.
Hello, my community is a collector's comment was stop doing that, Moose. Just stop doing that. I've seen you do it in multiple streams. Like, organizing the stream is actually quite difficult. You have to plan the slides, you have to get guests, you have to arrange for times. You know, it's not done on purpose. I don't mean to offend you. It's not done on purpose, but just stop doing that. I just don't respect it. If you have an issue with what I'm saying now, just unsubscribe and don't be a channel member, and that's fine. You don't have to do that, but I'm just saying, you've done this before. Just stop doing it. If I miss your comment, I miss as an accident. So yeah, just knock that off. Thank you. Sorry, folks. We've got another great Eddie hot take. Yeah, I reckon you're going to have a few of them. Money Mendes, don't buy it. You'll just sell it later. Oh man, he got you there, huh? You just thought it. Absolutely.
I think what's worse about that is I've never seen that name before, so that's someone lurking in the shadows that knows me.
Maybe. As he
It's a
walks
burner
through
account.
shadows. Yeah, could be.
Hey,
Could be. I bet you that's
You know.
Marco. That's
It
Marco,
probably
like,
is.
just hanging in there. So, I'd rather the battle damage than this walking meme. Oh, I don't know. If you're a Revenge of the Sith fan, like it's people. I didn't realize how much people absolutely loved Revenge of the Sith until this year. Like I know it was popular, but man, it's absolutely with the.
I forget that
The
that
money
one
it
is a
made?
thing. The Mythos one, is that the one they're referring to? The
Sorry?
newer one.
new
The
one?
battle damage. They're talking about the Mythos one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, I guess so.
'Cause I was thinking, I think of Kenobi when I think of the battle damage one. And I forget
Yeah.
the other one is like super
Yeah.
battle damaged.
Apology accepted, Moose. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, who wants to talk about something new? Anyone else? Final comments on this?
It's good.
Okay.
It's amazing, but just not for most of us, if you know what I mean. It's
Yeah,
like-
it looks great.
I think it's what it is. I mean, if I only collect, I've got different rule to some people. I've got one character per figure per character, you know, so I only have one Vader. So if I collected, this would definitely, I'd definitely get it if I, you know, was in the Vader collection sort of thing. But
It's cool to see
amazing.
them doing it and getting it out.
I think it's
for
cool.
the-
Yeah,
for the anniversary, for the 20th anniversary on time. Just well,
Yeah.
I mean, at least
I think it looks-
for pre-order anyway.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool. It's just, yeah,
Y-
it's just
Shane,
pretty cool
yeah,
enough
just
for me.
the comment saying hate for the Vader. I don't think anybody's hating on this.
No,
I
I think
actually
it's-
like the
no.
movie and I really love this Vader. I've just got
Mm.
the two that I want and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
When you
space,
have
isn't it?
a couple 300 figures, you really need to look at what you're collecting.
Real,
And what you're
real
doing with your
estate.
life, Ian.
Yeah,
yeah.
Did you get the new Palpatine, Ian? Did you order the new one from Revenge of the Sith?
No, but I actually do want it. But what I'm
That
doing
is a good
just now
figure, isn't it?
is sitting on things and waiting till
Oh.
after they're released, unless I get a feeling
Right.
that I'll lose out.
I want to know when we get in the stump, because we've had Dark Side Anakin, we've now got this version. When we get in the stump, like just the body
Oh
and
my
the
God.
head.
The I hate you, Scott.
I could see
you
that
know,
with a
do
back
an,
to tank though.
I-
They did a
I-
back to tank with it.
They did, yeah,
Like
true
the,
enough. Yeah,
the
168
construction
did it.
version Mark III. They did the
Yeah.
construction version Mark III.
No, they're coming out of the lava with no limbs and
I'm surprised
Yeah.
they could have done it with this. They could have done a 2-pack.
two-pack, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. You could have had like one stage of him being just as the helmet's going on, but you remember there was one stage where you could see they were putting like the metal legs on, and he would had a stump on the arm. They could have done two things to that, really, couldn't they? With a bit more cash.
No, you're right there.
Yeah, I think it's cool that they're doing it, but I think like I did see like a bunch of people saying like I call this. I think a lot of people were calling it because like there's certain characters that when they get a sniff or half an opportunity of doing it, they'll do an Iron Man, they'll do a Spider-Man, they'll do any sort of trooper. Vader's in that category. They have an opportunity to do a Vader, they'll do a Vader. And Revenge of the Sith 20th, and you know, there's no, you know, it's kind of, it just made sense that they hadn't done an actual Darth Vader from Revenge of the Sith to be the one with the table, like, you know. So I mean,
We've got
I'm glad
Rogue
for
One
people.
next year, haven't we? Rogue One 10th, and then
Yeah.
after that we've got New Hope 50th, and they'll definitely do a new one for that. 100%.
Yeah, oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's just, I suppose everyone has their definitive Vader. See, it's funny because it's like definitive. It sounds like it's binary, like it's a fact or anything, but essentially it's just your definitive. It's like you pick the scene or the movie or whatever you like the best and you go with it. Like it's, you know, and that's for some people it's Revenge of the Sith, and some people it's New Hope, and some people it's Jedi or whatever. Like so, or some people it could be the Rebels version that they announced. You know, so all right, Bob, what you want to talk about?
Snap.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
There you go.
go on
It's going to
then.
get interesting. It's going to
Go
get
on.
interesting.
Come on,
It's going to get interesting. Okay, just before we go on any further, I checked the screenshots that Bob sent me, and
Yeah.
I can yeah. So the first name is right, and I can see it's like there's like it's a double barrel name, and I could see
Yeah.
it nearly has all the letters in my name. I could see why you would think that's potentially me, but no, that's not me.
Right. Cheers.
Yeah, so I'd say message him directly on Facebook, and if he has those available, maybe he'll sort you out. Some good figures.
No
yes, for
worries.
sale,
My
so-
mistake.
No scam. No, you're all right. No scam. All right. This snap. I'm looking forward to this one. Okay, so if you're just joining us, folks, I'm going to show the panel 2 images, and they'll have to decide what gets Thanos snapped out of existence, where you can never watch or experience them again. So you'll still have the memories, but that's about it. Okay.
Oh, easy.
Andor or the Clone Wars? I'm going to go with Eddie first, although I 100% know his answer. But Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, I know, yeah, it's a meme because it's Andor, but for me, like, Clone Wars would beat out most things, I think, except for original trilogy. So obviously, I'm going to snap Andor.
Yeah, that's fair. And then from the top down, then Ian?
Yeah, I mean, listen, first off, I actually like animation. I grew up and I'm a big fan of anime, and it's so if I pick something over animation, it's not because it's animation. I just need to get that out there. A lot of the Clone Wars, I liked it, particularly at the end. A lot, and an awful lot, was a chore just to get through. It took me a long time to get through it. Andor is special. It really is special, and I've said before, the biggest compliment I could give is I love the OT, and it elevated the OT for me. It is special. So this is the easiest snap ever.
Yeah, I'll continue on really, really quickly. I made it through all Clone Wars, and I like I've said it a million times before, I love the Order 66 stuff, and I love the birth of Ahsoka and her arc, and I just thought that was so well done. And I will go back and just cherry pick the Ahsoka Order 66 episodes. So I do really like Clone Wars, but yeah, I just prefer Andor, so I'd snap Clone Wars. Trevor?
Yep, everything you guys said. I love Clone Wars. I think there are maybe more than a dozen, maybe 20 episodes that I would rewatch, more than a few times, especially that last season was incredible. But I mean, everything Ian said about Andor leading up and elevating not only Rogue One, but the OT now, and you can watch it straight through. And it's like just a whole big epic story, right from the ground up to the heroes, the big heroes. It's awesome. It's totally rewatchable. I think I've already seen the first season 3 times, and I'm going to go back and watch the second season again.
I heard it's better on Steelbook. You fucking prick.
Yeah.
That wasn't directed towards you, Trevor. He knows. Yeah. Bob?
Yeah, I'd have to snap Clone Wars. I've tried to watch it so many times. I've got a few episodes in, and I just can't stick with it. It's not getting me to that threshold. Yeah.
Do you have Disney
Plus? I keep trying. Every few months I keep trying.
Yeah. But like, as in,
I can't.
Just, you don't have to watch it all. Just like either Google like the key Ahsoka episodes or key Order 66 episodes. And
maybe I should do that.
Yeah,
like,
there's some filler
do
stuff.
that. Do that.
Through.
Yeah. I didn't do that because
okay.
I wanted to see everything. I didn't want to miss anything, but I will go back and do that because the good stuff is really, really good.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do then. Cheers.
What do you reckon, Phil? I put you in a spot, have I?
No, not at all. It's an easy one for me, this one. I do like... It certainly is, yeah. I mean, I like the Clone Wars, and I like what it's given us. The different story arcs, some of the trooper storylines, Ahsoka, and so on and so forth. Even Maul, to a certain extent. But it's leading up to the prequels, which I'm not saying I'm not a fan of, but they're not the OT. Andor gives us, like Trevor just mentioned, it gives us that epic story leading right the way through the Rogue One and straight into the original trilogy. So Clone Wars has to go. As much as I like Clone Wars, it's relevant to the prequels, which I'm not a huge fan of. So yeah,
okay,
Andor,
and then
keep Andor,
Dan?
snap Clone Wars.
Yeah, me. Yeah, exactly the same as everyone else. Some of the episodes are awesome of the Clone Wars, but it was a bit of a chore getting through some of them. And it was wicked, but for Andor, the last, we've all agreed on that.
Just by the way, I did actually, I did when I sent Eddie the link, and I goes, look, just giving you a heads up, this is a lot of Andor talk, and Eddie said to me,
I've given up all chance at inner peace.
So, so we're on to the next one. Back to the top there. I know this is gonna be an easy snap for some people. Even Eddie might actually. No, he probably won't. He probably said pick Ahsoka. Oh yeah. By the way, obviously I already went and I snapped Clone Wars last time. This is an easy one for me. I was really disappointed with Ahsoka because I loved her first live action appearance in The Mandalorian. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Some of the best Star Wars content ever. Even just everything from her performance to the design choices they made, the action scenes, the cinematography, the whole thing. The Michael Bihn's character, what's the witch called again? Very Kill Bill style fight with the lightsabers and the Beskar spear. What's her name? Oh, is she? I can't remember her name now. They fought at the end. I should have noticed. The people in the chat will have
It's Dan Inosanto's daughter. Dan Inosanto was a student of Bruce Lee's, and she was his
Morgan.
goddaughter.
Morgan.
That's it.
Philly's-
Yeah.
Philly's daughter.
Like, so I just wished it went more in that direction. But look, yeah. So I'm gonna snap. And I actually went back. It was actually after our last debate we had here. I went back and I was like, I'm gonna rewatch this, and I got through like one episode. At the end, when Sabine got stabbed and was like she was fine, I was just like, oh, I found it really hard to even turn on the second one. But yeah, I'm gonna snap Ahsoka here. Ian?
Yeah, it's the same as you. I mean, I bought Ahsoka on it. There's a lot I enjoyed. There's a lot that I really, really didn't like. It was a wasted potential. The story potential's awesome. I think we talked about it so many times, you, me, Trevor, that the dialogue is so stilted, it's unbelievable. I think, yeah, it's nowhere near the quality of viewing as Andor, so I'd snap Ahsoka.
Okay.
Yep.
Trevor?
Snap Ahsoka. It's everything I've said before. I mean, one of my main problems is the writing and the dialogue. I think the casting was great, and I think they got some very good actors. I love Rosario as Ahsoka, and like you said, Shane, I liked her first appearance. But man, they gave her nothing to do, and the dialogue just took me out of it. Even if the story had some holes to it, I think it still could have been good if they had given them better dialogue. And then you look at like just the quality of using like real sets and stuff in Andor, and the realism and grittiness that it gives that, even though it's now we're talking Jedi and stuff like that, so it's a little more elevated, I guess, of a story. But I would have liked to have seen some of that stuff. You know what I mean? Not everything be the volume. I think the volume's great for things that you just can't do live, but I'd love to see some more practical sets. It's getting a little too easy to spot now. Like, watching Jurassic Park, whatever 12 we're on now. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Dinosaurs.
I actually quite like the volume, but I get you, the sets can appear smaller. I was blown away by, say, what they did with the Mandalorian and the volume. So I think that hybrid model
can be great. Yeah, and but there are things within there that I think the way you use that too can differ too. And I think they did a better job with it in the Mandalorian than they did in this. So yeah, by Ahsoka. I would like to see them read. Hopefully season 2 they've learned something, but I don't know. Who knows?
And that's what I was going to say, Trevor, is they've got a chance with season 2 to make it a little bit better. If you know what I mean.
Somebody else
I don't think they'll go down the Andor gritty route, obviously, but it will be a bit more coherent story wise.
Filoni's great with cartoons writing, but he just so far he hasn't shown that he can write for live action.
So it brings on to Bob.
Yeah, sorry, I'd snap Ahsoka. The characters were great, but I just didn't feel any emotion for them or to them or against them. Whereas with Andor, I felt emotional at some points for probably the top 7 or 8 characters in there. At one point, there's so many ups and downs for everybody that for me, it was like a ride of emotion as their lives changed. Whereas with Ahsoka, I didn't really care what happened to any of them at any point. So just an emotional thing for me. It didn't get me.
Yeah. And interesting to see what Eddie will say on this one. Well, I probably think I know, but I know he's not a fan of Ahsoka. But Eddie, what you reckon?
I don't think he. Well, okay. So the thing with this one is like, yes, I love the characters in Ahsoka, and yes, I love, like Trevor says, I am a big fan of the lightsabers and the pew pew stuff. Like, that is my thing. But the only thing that gives Ahsoka any kind of an acknowledgement is, well, two things. The nostalgia, obviously. I feel like that holds everything up about it. That's all it is nostalgia. And then Baylan, I think. I don't even think Hati or Shin, I don't even think she's as intriguing enough as Baylan is. So I would snap Ahsoka. I kind of hate that Disney thinks that they can just use nostalgia to get us to watch. So the one thing that Andor does well is it holds up on its own. You don't need the nostalgia. I mean, Rogue One is amazing and everybody wanted to watch it originally because of Rogue One, but like, it holds up on its own for the people that love it, and it's not bad. It's just not, to me, it's just too much to sit through. But so that I would.
I
would
just
snap
realized I don't have any form of. I'm really happy now. Celebrate clips. They're all just swearing and taking the piss. I've nothing to go. I've nothing to go. Hallelujah.
Yay!
That's just probably that's just probably as good as we're going to get about that. But man, even Eddie's snapping. Ahsoka. Interesting.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, snapping Ahsoka. Such a missed opportunity. When you compare what they could do with Andor for a story where we knew what was going to happen, and then Ahsoka they built her storyline up through Clone Wars and the Rebels. She was fantastic in the Mandalorian, and then it just seemed to.
And like it doesn't have. Not every show has to be bloody Andor. Like I get it. Like it's in Ahsoka. Ahsoka. They want the sabers. Like she has to have the saber fights. There has to be exciting. It has to be more fast paced. It wouldn't work if Ahsoka was as slow as Andor. It just wouldn't work. And it's a character that literally. Clone Wars. The early Clone Wars episodes were very, very geared towards young kids. So it wouldn't make sense. Like I know she's grown up and the show matured and got darker and stuff like that, but like. Give us a bit of brain candy. It was a lot of it was nonsensical.
It doesn't. It wouldn't work as an intrigue and maybe as much dialogue and behind the scenes as Andor or whatever build up maybe. But even though we knew he lives through this, I was still on the edge of my seat a lot for every episode of Andor, worried about Mon Mothma, and then I had to remind myself, oh no, she'll be fine. Like I know that. Yeah, and with Ahsoka, like when Sabine got stabbed, I was like, oh my god, they killed Sabine first episode. You got to be. Oh wait, no. Oh,
yeah.
Really?
You did, I mean, you knew
so from then on, I was like, well, nothing's going to happen to anybody. They're all going to be fine. You know what I mean? If she gets stabbed through the gut with a lightsaber and she's fine, there is no threat here, and I have no concern for any of these people at this point.
No, and that's the difference, I think, where even though we ultimately knew what was going to happen to Andor, you were concerned about the characters surrounding him as well, though.
Yes.
So
exactly. Yeah. The people that you didn't know what their fate was, but the way they made you care about a bad guy for a while and then not care about them, and it was incredible. And I had no feelings for people that characters I actually liked to begin with in Ahsoka. I just ended up being like, that doesn't feel like what she would do or what he would do or whatever. So anyway, rant over.
Cool. Anyone else? Who are we down there on?
For me, it'd be exactly the same as everyone else. I'm going to probably pick up Ahsoka the White because I sold the other one. I know, like say, Ian's got it, and it's just to have that character in the collection. But I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity because even bringing like Anakin back and doing some sort of like flashbacks and all that, everyone, it was great. There were some episodes that I quite enjoyed, but I just don't think the writing was as strong as, definitely not as Andor or any of the first two seasons of the Mando. So it's interesting. I'm looking forward to season 2, just to hope that It's the only thing we've got coming as well, isn't it? On TV shows at the moment. And
Yeah, I think so.
Ahsoka season 2.
Ahsoka 2.
Jose, Eddie snapped Ahsoka here. He's a massive fan of Andor, haven't you?
Well, to Trevor's point, it almost pisses me off that Ahsoka isn't better. Well, it does piss me off. It doesn't almost. It pisses me
we all
off
want it to
because-
succeed, though. I wanted this to be amazing.
And
You know what I mean?
it negatively represents the people like me that like only wants sabers and pew pew and stuff like that. It's like it heightens the Andor point and it lowers my point. Is like, you guys can make things like Ahsoka as good as Andor, but I feel like you guys don't try as hard because you know people will love it already.
It felt like everything was shoehorned in, didn't it? It's just everything was. Let's get
It
Thrawn
was
in
rushed,
there. Let's
wasn't
get
it?
Ezra
The
in
last
there.
was rushed.
Let's just squeeze.
Do you
everybody
remember,
in there.
It was total member berries. Let's get to Anakin.
Do you remember
Anakin, and that was it.
a guy called the Six Scale Economist?
Yes.
He described the Mandalorian. He said like he equated it to a salad. It's like he was like the salad and the veg and the rocket or arugula or all the vegetables, the good stuff of the salad. They're like the main stuff is like the story, and then the dressing on the salad, the more fun stuff, that's like the action. And he said, if you have a salad that's all veg and like lettuce and stuff like that, and no flavor, no like salad dressing, then it's gonna be a pretty shit salad. But if it's too much salad dressing, not enough nutrition, it's gonna be a pretty shit salad. You need a blend of both of them. So he was like, the Mandalorian. He said like, I think at the time he was talking about this first 2 seasons. I don't think 3 had come out because maybe he was talking the first season, but he was saying it's a good blend. They've the right amount of story, but they're the right amount of action as well. Like I thought it was a good way of equating it. Whereas I thought Ahsoka, there was a lot of salad dressing there, but it wasn't even like. Do you remember? They go to that planet where Thrawn can't find Ezra, and he's hanging around with the Ninja Turtles, and then Sabine met him, but on the way or something, they're walking, they get randomly attacked. It was it didn't need to happen. And the fight scene wasn't particularly well choreographed. Like even the action scenes in Ahsoka, the choreography was poor. Like, whereas here in The Mandalorian, it was like so well done.
And like motivations, not to get too much deeper, but in that scene, like just there's so much thought put into the stuff in Andor. Like you can really kind of dig deep in it. Yeah, there's probably a couple holes here and there, and there was one. But anyway, Sabine then, like, she gets in that fight and she gets mad because the beast that she's riding on a planet that she doesn't know anything about didn't save her or something, and so she tells it to go away. Like, what? Why would you do that? Like, it's got all your supplies and like, why? It's just
we got to acknowledge this comment.
The whole thing, it was just stupid.
I gotta acknowledge. I agree with everything you just said. I gotta acknowledge this comment though, because Disney get a lot of knocks for Star Wars. You're right, they do. But they put a lot of money into Andor, and season 2 is a masterpiece. Okay, now they have made Rogue One, Andor season 1 and 2, and The Mandalorian. And again, like, there's other things other people like. I'm just giving my own perspective on it. They Disney get it right sometimes. But it definitely was trending in, I think, the wrong direction. But like, the unfortunate thing is about this comment is that I was talking to Thrawn's office, Mike. I think they buried 750 million into it or something like that, and it's not getting the viewership. Like, I think the opening few episodes was less than The Acolyte. Now, I might need to be fact checked on that, but maybe it has picked up in numbers since, but will they really take that risk again? You know?
I mean, well, here's the thing. Does it pay off in that interest in Star Wars comes back because people are, interested in it again? Even people outside of the inner fandom? I don't know.
But it's Stanley, not a fan. Stanley said, Andor's like wilted lettuce. And Ahsoka had so many holes, it was Swiss cheese, but still entertaining. That's
I like to think of Andor more like arugula. not wilted arugula, but just a
It's got
lot
a
of
bit of
people like
pepper on
arugula. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's bitter.
Yeah, I like
So it's like a
arugula,
bowl of
peppery.
vinaigrette.
That's a fair
see
point.
the-
That's a fair
Not even
point.
good creamy dressing. It's vinaigrette.
Yeah.
See one thing
All right.
for me, I've obviously I bought Ahsoka on 4K and I
On
don't-
4K, no doubt, 4K.
on 4K, on 4K, 4K, and I don't regret it.
Who am I kidding? They can't understand us when we start talking anyway.
So, here's the thing. When you watch it, there's main characters in here that you're actually turned off a little bit because of how poor the writing and the directing is on it. Whereas Andor, you've got secondary and background characters. The writing's so good, the storytelling's so good. Those characters are bloody interesting. You want to know more. You, good and bad people, you feel for them at certain stages. That is epic writing. In my opinion, Dave Filoni's got a good creative mind. He's not good for writing or directing for live action. And the dream scenario would be Dave Filoni and Favreau, they can come up with some creation and get guys in like the Gilroy team and do that. Do the writing for them. Because, it's...
He wrote for cartoons, and in cartoons you kind of have to tell and not show depending on your animators because there isn't a lot.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
true.
emote a little bit. With Andor, if you watch the whole thing, it's show, don't tell. They're not describing every person that comes on the screen and introducing them with another character going, hey, I remember seeing you at, Sib the 6 on the, no, it's just like you find out as you go along about this character and you know what you need to know. And they show, what you need to know.
Has everyone gone on this?
Yeah.
Because this is an extended one.
I know. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm not going to lie, lads. This one's difficult for me, so I'm going to go last.
man.
Bob. Or sorry, no, we're going to start at the bottom there. Dan.
Oh man, it's hard, isn't it? Because I loved Andor. I loved the first 2 seasons of Mando. And it sort of got, it was after COVID, wasn't it? It was the first thing. It was.
I can't wait for the crossover, Mandor. It's going to be savage. It's going to be savage. It's going to be class.
This is really hard.
That's what she said.
Looks like he's saying it too, to
mate.
be honest.
Gonna snap Mandalorian. Oh, I don't know. This is the hardest one I think I've ever done.
Get it out.
Yeah. Oh my god. Can you just move on? Just because we'll be here all night, and then I'll just think about it a bit more. Move along. Move along.
Yeah, all right. Okay, we're going to come back to you, though.
Yeah,
Phil.
what the hell?
It's fine.
Okay, I'm going to make a, pardon the pun,
Sorry,
I'm going to make a
guys.
snap decision.
Go on.
I can live without Andor because we've got Rogue One. Mandalorian is shit hot.
See, now that's good,
Come on.
Phil. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Phil. I knew I liked Phil, dude.
Well done, Phil. Well done, Phil.
Yeah, I'm gonna snap Andor. I feel like the Andor fans get out easy on this one because you can hate on some of Mandalorian and I hate on some of it too, But I love when
It's
it
only
started,
season 3
man. I
though.
loved it. Yeah, but you can use season 3 as an out or
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I know. That
That's what I
feeling when
mean.
Luke turns up in season 2.
Yeah, that's...
Luke.
And yeah. And
thing is-
Ahsoka.
I look
Yeah.
at my collection, and a quarter of my collection is Mandalorian or Mandalorian related. So
the good
That's
thing
'cause they
about
don't know
We
Andor.
don't have any Andor figures.
yeah, the good thing
Precisely.
about Mandalorian is it's what we're all talking about that we want, right? Like you can
I
merge
would agree.
good Star
I would
Wars
agree.
with good writing
Yeah.
until
would agree.
season 3, and then they,
Yeah.
what the hell? But
And then it's
Yeah.
all Lizzo cameos and Bo-Katan and that narrative about it's called the Mandalorian, guys.
I
It was
haven't got
always
room
about
for,
Bo-Katan. That is bullshit. That is because Pedro didn't want to come back to do the role, and they're like, "Oh man, we kind of need to guide this in a different way." I don't buy that for a second. It's the Mandalorian. It is Din
I
Djarin.
haven't got a big enough shelf for Jack Black and Lizzo anyway.
Whoa! Orale.
Ouch.
And now we're cancelled, man. Now we're
She lost
cancelled.
weight. They both lost weight.
Phil straight up there with the body shaming. Can't believe it, man. Can't believe it.
I take it back. I'm sorry.
No, you don't. You don't. Absolutely don't.
What the
fuck, man?
Anyway, so if you're just joining us, Phil has just been body shaming. And I think someone... Oh, you're going to get called out because I made a comment before about like how I never really took Brad Pitt seriously as an actor until I saw Fight Club. And I was like, that guy can act. And yeah, he's absolutely shredded. And someone said I was body shaming for giving him a compliment. I was like,
What? Wow.
that is the opposite. The opposite. You know what I mean? But anyway. So, Bob.
I absolutely love both, but I'm going to snap the Mandalorian because I just love the interconnection of the characters more on Andor, and I think I could watch it more and find more and more about it every time I watched it.
Was that Mandalorian or Andor?
Andor. So snap Mando.
You're right. And then Trevor.
I love the Mandalorian. Especially, the first two seasons. The third season I didn't absolutely hate, but it kind of dropped the ball. And I think they dropped the ball on the whole Grogu thing. That kind of, Luke was fan service done well. That was good. That made me stand up and cheer. It was exciting. But I think they dropped the ball on him going to Luke and maybe being separated and some other stories without him, them being apart. And they just resolved it, instantly. So that kind of let it down for me. Also, just timeline wise, I'm much more interested in, pre Republic than, post Empire or pre, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And Andor, I just it made me feel like I was back watching the OT. Whereas Mandalorian's beautiful, it just feels a little more Return of the Jedi than A New Hope. So yeah, snapping Mando.
Now, Ian, I believe you've got the 4K of both of these, yeah?
Ian's Sith name is Darth 4K.
I've got the 4K of all four of these.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, if you're asking
touchy
me,
subject.
am I next or was that?
You are, yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody, I really like The Mandalorian, particularly 1 and 2. Although it got a bit repetitive. Oh, here's another little journey with Grogu and that sort of thing. But when you take a step back and look at what story it's trying to tell, I'm not really sure overall with The Mandalorian. I'm really not sure. It was like pieced together as you kind of go along. Me personally, when I take a step back, still enjoyed it. I'm not hating on it. You can be critical and still enjoy something. But as an overall story arc, there was a lot of action. And season 3 was very much the Bo-Katan show. It went off a little track. Still enjoyed things, but when you look at Andor, that story, and as Trevor said, into Rogue One and the OT, it's really ultimately that Death Star story. And I love political thriller movies, suspense and tension, and we got it all in a Star Wars story. It ticked every box for me. So Andor, I love them both. It's a good snap, but Andor for the holistic perspective of it.
Dan, do you want to go first or will I go?
I am going to snap the Mandalorian because we've got our memories of it, so I can't watch it again. That's right, and we've still watched it, but it's gone. And also we've got the movie coming out, so that's it.
This is probably the toughest one yet for me, because if I think of isolated episodes of The Mandalorian, obviously season 1 and 2, 3 of the best pieces of Star Wars content, art, I would say, actually, content kind of cheapens it. Media, whatever you want to call it. The Return of Luke, done properly. The Ahsoka episode, like I mentioned already, just near perfect. Well, actually, I couldn't think of a way to improve it, so bloody perfect in my eyes anyway. And The Return of Boba Fett, man. That episode was insane. So good. I just think they had the formula right. But the thing about Andor is I've always been really jealous of people who like the prequels. Because when I first saw them, when I was a kid, I was like, I like this because it's Star Wars. And then when I revisit them, I'm like, these aren't as good as I remember. And the shine went off them, and even the nostalgia doesn't bring me back. I go back and I rewatch them, and there's parts I really, really like. But I was always jealous about people liking prequels. But now I feel like there's prequels that I enjoy. Season 1 of Andor, Season 2 of Andor, and Rogue One. And based on that logic, I'm going to have to snap The Mandalorian. Wild. But I still love The Mandalorian. That's a tough one. Okay. Season 1 versus Season 2, folks. What are you going to snap? I'll jump on this grenade. As good as Season 2 was, I think Season 1 is better. I would snap Season 2. Yeah, marginally. But I genuinely think Season 1... I think Season 1 is better.
I'll snap Season 1. I love Season 2.
Yeah, I think you could watch Season 2 and still understand a little bit. Maybe not everything of how he developed or where he came from, but I still think you can still see growth towards Rogue One. Whereas I think if you just dropped off in Season 1 of... no, that's not true, though. I don't know, man. That's tough. I think Season 2 had a lot more great episodes than Season 1 did. Season 1 had...
we had Krennic and things like that as well, which I loved.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Too,
I love anything to do with Aldani, and I think I still maintain the 3 best monologues in the show, as good as Mon Mothma's was, is still Luton, Kino Loy, and Marva. I still think the 3 of them, definitely Marva's and Luton's top the Mon Mothma speech in the Senate, but I still think dialogue-wise it was stronger. Some fantastic gems in Andor Season 2, no doubt. Like every time some Luton said something, I turned to Megan. Like, I think we've run out of perfect.
Yeah, I love that.
Come on. But like, Megan's
you
just
never
like, but Megan's just looking at me going, you need help. You know?
You never know everybody's fate without Season 2, though. You never know, what happened to, Dedra or Cyril. So, I don't know. Stuff.
And KTSO.
And K2. I know.
I'm still going to snap Season 2. And I think they're both 5 stars, but I think Season 1, I like the grittier. It's a bit more, I think it's a bit grittier. Ian, are you having a stroke?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough one because I love the whole arc of Andor, but I think this is going to be one of these ones. It depends on the mood you're in, because I love
That's
both.
a fair point.
So what kind of mood am I in to watch, and that's what makes it more difficult, because I think in 3 months' time we have the same thing. I might give a different answer. That's how I treat these ones. And I've got to then think about the recent aspect where you're all caught up in the hype and
it's
and all
recency
that. So
bias.
I want to take that out. I think there was more things that I enjoy in a TV show in Season 2 than Season 1, but depending on the mood, and I'm kind of sitting on the fence on this because it is difficult. I think episode 8 was special. I think season 2's episode 7 to 12 were just special, really special for me. So on that basis, in my current mood, I snap season 1.
Thing is, man, if I come back to this question 6 months a year when the recency bias has died down, that Mandalorian question, that was on a knife edge. Like I could give a different answer to that because even just those 3 episodes I described.
Can I don't want to belabor this, but so like, and I think Ian touched on this. Like, I'm not sure. Like, we've had 3 seasons of Mando, and I can't tell you what this movie is going to be about. I mean, am I wrong about that? Maybe I've not
selling merchandise.
Oh yeah, the little cat, the little.
Did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
Is the trailer? I don't know what it's about.
Is the trailer? Is the actual official trailer dropped yet? Because I only saw the low res one from.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did anyone else hasn't gone this? Well, Eddie, you haven't watched season 2.
I can't really choose out of this. So,
anyone else left
Yeah,
away
for
in
me,
this? Or we go to the last one?
It's
Go on.
it's probably recency biased because obviously we've just watched it, but I like seeing the demise of Dedra and Cyril. K2 SO is fantastic. Turdic I thought was brilliant again. Krennic. Yeah, at the moment, again, probably because of the mood and the recency bias, I'd snap season 1 and keep season 2.
Okay. And last but not least, the final snap of this extended snap. I love that there's a prequel trilogy I enjoy now. So would you snap the actual prequels, or would you snap Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? No one's gonna like that. I would genuinely snap the ones on the left and keep the Andor trilogy.
Andor is the prequel for me. That's the prequel.
Yeah.
So is it just everyone versus Eddie then? I feel like we're bullying him or manipulating.
Sorry, Eddie.
yeah,
If there's one man who can stand his own, he's not going to care anyway.
Yeah, you guys are insane, bro.
Yeah.
I hate that you call it the prequels too. Just a little dig in there, huh? Just a
Do you know what?
These are my
When I put that in the Collecting Weekly group chat and you disliked it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep saying that.
I take it back about me saying that I was gonna take back. It's not Star Wars, because if you guys can call it prequels, I'm calling it. It's not Star Wars. Also, this is just me digging at you guys, but I like how much TIE fighters and action are in these posters when it's like it should just be people sitting at desks on these posters.
Oh man, there's so many TIE fighters in season 2.
Yeah. Well,
Like
I have
a lot.
a feeling I'm gonna like season 2 more than 1. The way you guys are talking about it.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil any if you potentially do watch it, but
See, but in Rogue One,
I can't go on and say any more without spoiling.
See when you actually, I'm looking at the posters, right? And what makes it even better, Andor 1, 2 and Rogue One, is that build up. You're just looking at that and think back about watching season 1, season 2 and going into Rogue One. In terms of action, Eddie's talking about all the TIE fighters and all this stuff. There's just that beautiful story. It feels more connected. I actually enjoy the prequels. I don't think they're nowhere near the OT or Rogue One, but I enjoy them. But they're disjointed. They're not.
Fight the Empire!
Sorry, go on.
So yeah, I mean, it's
Would anyone else snap the Andor trilogy? Will we move on?
No, in a million years.
Eddie's going, no!
Yeah. All right, folks. Again, we'll leave Andor for a while, but we'll talk about some figures. That's what people came here for. And I don't have questions prepared for Face Off, so we're just gonna drop that. So, okay, Eddie, you can choose there. What you want to talk about?
Really quick. Good to see you, Dan. I think Dan's taken off. So.
Oh right, is Dan? Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I see the private chat. Yeah. Yeah, Dan, thanks for joining. Do you have anything you want to plug there? Anything before you go?
You're muted.
You're muted, man. Still muted. Can't hear you, man.
All right, good to see you.
He's given up, I think.
Okay.
Later.
See you,
Cheers,
man.
Dan.
You said you're getting rid of Face Off, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to do face off. I don't have questions prepared, and the snap was extended today, so
Okay.
yeah.
I'll do we could get Kenobi out of the way. I don't know how well that's gonna be received with these prequel haters here, so
Well, stay tuned, Eddie. Stay tuned. Don't you worry, man. Okay, so we're looking for Kenobi.
We don't hate the players. We just hate the game.
there you go.
Yeah, man.
Respect.
We don't hate. I don't hate them.
Yeah, all right.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I don't hate them.
I loathe entirely.
I can watch them. They're just not my favorite.
Yeah, that's where I think it takes a lot of effort to hate something like.
Hate sells better for YouTube though, so.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I can still put on the prequels and I'll enjoy parts of them. Like the Duel of Fates is incredible. The fight scene on Camino in the rain between Kenobi and Django, the clone stuff, the Order 66 stuff, and seeing the birth of Vader. Like, there's a lot of goodness there. There is a lot of goodness. Like, so I wouldn't say I hate them. I'm just not a fan.
I mean, I must admit, I know that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show wasn't great, but I was looking forward to it to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. Which
Let's be honest. All we wanted to do is see them fight again,
Yeah.
and they did, and that was done well.
But we wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for the prequels. So,
Or for Rebels, even the idea from the damage and stuff.
yeah.
Okay, did anybody pick this up?
I did.
No.
I got both. I got but I got the Artisan as trade bait because I missed some other figures we're going to talk about. So I got that one as trade bait, and then I'm going to keep the sculpted one for me. I know people tend to dislike this movie out of the three the most, and I really like this movie just because I'm a Clone Wars fan. You get the clones in this, you get a Django, you get Count Dooku. Like, I like this movie a lot, and I like that they threw in that droid. I feel like that's a really cool add-in. I like that pose of him hanging
And seamless
there.
wrists to go with it. You know that?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
Is it really?
they literally include these long seamless
Oh,
wrists.
nice.
Yeah, man.
That's nice.
That is pretty
they did
cool.
the lightsaber effects, which I don't think a lot of figures get, even though they have them. I feel like they should throw that in with anything that has a
As
lightsaber.
standard, yeah.
So yeah, I like it a lot. I don't love the head sculpt at all. I think it's very far off from how it looks in Attack of the Clones. He looks chubby. Yeah, I know Phil won't like it. He prefers his characters to look a certain way. And
Yeah, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about Phil today. So,
That's so. Yeah, it's. I don't love the likeness, but I like the figure. So.
Can we just give a shout out to Christian?
Yeah,
Haven't seen Christian in a long time, and like, I don't know, Christian, if you're still in contact with Joao, but if you are, man, will you just give our love to Joao? Just tell him he's definitely missed, man. Haven't seen him or heard from him in a while.
I kind of
Hopefully
miss
his
him.
family
I think I miss Christian
100%, man. Joao is mega missed. I had
Yeah.
I did a short the other day with the Peacemaker figure, and because season 2 is coming up and stuff like that, and I was like, I can't believe this guy just like bought me this and sent it to me, like, because I got that off Joao just from like a comment I made. I said, oh, maybe they'll upgrade him. Remember when they first put him up to pre-order, had those dodgy joints on his elbows and stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe Hot Toys will upgrade him to a seamless body, and he goes, Hot Toys will never do this. The next day, he goes, if they do this, I'll buy a figure, I'll send it to you. The next day, they put up the updated figure, and he held his word. I told him, I messaged him multiple times, said, you don't have to do that, man. It wasn't like a bet, and but yeah, sure enough, it came out, and he wrote on the box, like, like, to Shane, have fun, Joao, And he goes, "That's because you can never fucking sell it now." You know. So yeah. Shout out to Christian, man. Good to hear from you. Sorry,
he certainly puts better messages on packages than you.
That's true, man. But like, I know my audience as well. I know you'd appreciate that if I said something nice to you. You'd be like, "No, you loved it. You loved it." So yeah, you got both of them, and you're going to keep the sculpted. And why are you going to keep the sculpted over the artisan, right?
I don't know that I'm sold on artisan stuff yet. I've never seen an artisan in person, and I didn't love all the backlash or like issues that people were having with the original Joker. It doesn't seem like that issue is happening with some of the other stuff that's being released, but I don't know. I'm good with the sculpted on this one.
Question for you, Eddie.
Yeah.
What if this artisan was the exact same, but the hair was the Inart rooted hair standard? Would that change your mind?
Yes. I love it. I love rooted. And, back, I feel like before Inart existed, there was a line in the sand between people that liked rooted and sculpted. And then Inart changed that. And I feel like people that like sculpted switched to rooted because of Inart. And then I was one of those. Like, I was very against rooted. And then Inart happened. And I was like, dude, it brings so much more realism. So if it was an Inart rooted, I'd 100% be praising it over this.
Yeah, man, I'd agree. So you're going to keep the sculpted, and that's nice the way you have the people go wild for those artisans, whether like you're not sold on them. I'm not sold on them either. I have the Black Widow on order, but like that could be my first and last if it's bad. Like, but I hope it turns out as good as the proto. But I'm very, very, very skeptical. But it's nice having that ace in the hole where you could trade off the artisan version. That's a good trade to have. Anyone else pick this up, or anyone else have any comments? I don't have much to say, but I think I agree with Eddie. His face, he does need to be younger. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Because to me, this looks like the Kenobi version with a few adjustments, and then the artisan hair.
It's very similar to the Kenobi version.
I'll say this though, they're not doing the Revenge of the Sith because that's the one. Everyone will buy that, and no one will buy this. Whereas now the Obi-Wan fans are like, "Oh God, I gotta get this." And maybe they'll buy the Revenge of the Sith anyway. They probably will when it comes out, like Burrs. I think they'll make more sales by dropping this first and then an artisan Revenge of the Sith when the time comes as well. But it's just a strange move.
I think, Shane, a couple of the photos, his cheeks and nose look funny. Almost looks like, see there on the right, almost looks like Conor McGregor when he's been punched in the face.
Yeah, it's puffy.
Yeah.
But, and it's a shame because, as a Scotsman, I just don't think they've ever nailed Ewan McGregor.
Go back one, Shane. Those look like two different skulls. See, that's lighting right there. You know what I mean? You're getting some highlights, and you can see there's a little bit of a sallowness to the cheek. And the other one, it just looks all puffy. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Looks a little better on the right. Still not 100%, but looks a little better.
I'm the same as Eddie. I prefer the sculpted. It looks good. But what made me think I could be tempted is like these shots there with the assassin droid. It's something different rather than another Jedi just with a lightsaber. So the posing of that looks quite good. I think the legs look thin. It's a little odd. I don't think that's accurate.
That wouldn't have been one of my critiques. You mean the thighs are small, like?
Yeah, they are. I don't know if it's accurate for him, but it looks a little bit odd. But what the seller for me really is the assassin droid. I love the the posing of that. It's really cool.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say about this. I just don't think they've nailed it yet. But I'm happy to see it coming, and I do think they'll eventually do the Revenge of the Sith. Anyone else have something to add in on this before we move on? No? Nope. Okay. Really quickly, I'm going to go through some basics before we continue on. So we're coming up on 5K. We're kind of about 200 away. So we got 4,798 subscribers. Much appreciated if you were one of the 4,798 subscribers, or if you've gone through the effort to support the channel in any way. Much appreciated. So channel members, I don't know, this new one, Mamek, Smamix? I think it's Smamix, I'm not sure. Collectors of the Universe, Blurred Dad's Life, Yomo, Shiny, Lieutenant Winus, Big Rib, The Ben Thomas Show, Caffeinated Comic Fan, Dogito, Stanley, Vita aka Her Geeky Side, Tiny Archive Figure Craft, 1-6 Shooter, Figures and Fandom, Howard Potts, Ian H and Silver Fox, Jose, G Hernandez, B Wong, Brian Wong from Magic Case, Eddie, Money Mendes, Jim Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Michael, and of course, last but not least, Ryan Smith. And then the Commanders tier have their YouTube username handle displayed at the end of the channel like so. And if you look, you will see 12-inch Moose Stream's name there. New videos. I did one over the weekend recapping the last week because I took last week off. The giveaway, by the way, it's done. It's finished. Congratulations to Tony, or it's shipped. The last tracking I got that it was in the US of A. And yeah, so I think it's Antonio actually. He's really looking forward to it. And yeah, so thanks very much to anyone who engaged and supported in that. And yeah, Artisan Anakin Skywalker, brand new, gone over to him. He actually did. I was going to give it to him brand new, open unboxed, or sorry, unopened. But I said to him, as I bought it on Sideshow, if there was anything wrong with it and I shipped to him, it might be difficult for him shipping it back to Sideshow. So he was like, yeah, you can open it. So, and it was perfect. I went through everything and then sealed it up again and off to him. So yeah, we'll do another giveaway at some point. What do you want to talk about, Trevor?
Oh, it's back to me. I picked Vader.
Anyone okay. Really want to pick something? Or
Cody,
Eddie, what did you miss out on?
Chopper.
We go Chopper?
Yeah, go Chopper.
Oh, I missed out on the troopers, but
go ahead. We'll be talking
go.
about them.
Yeah,
which trooper in particular do you?
I mean, I want them both, but the Airborne is cooler, I think, because it's new.
I like the Airborne.
That's
did
weird, man.
Sideshow do this?
Super collective in that.
Yeah. Oh, you mean? I don't know if they
Airborne.
did it. Yeah, I don't know if they made the figure. Back in the day, I don't know if they did any Airbornes. But this was it's always cool to see a graveyard figure released, right? So
Oh, this was in the graveyard, was it?
yeah. So, and I love, to me, clone troopers are cooler. Like, I like the design more than stormtroopers. And I love the Airborne helmet. I think it's really dope, and it's super. I don't usually care about weathering, but I feel like, I don't know, it sets it apart. It's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
The extra armor on the arms, or the extra ammo, I mean, and then just everything he comes with. He's a dope looking figure, and something to go with Cody, because we have 501st and other clones and stuff. I don't think we have any 212, so I don't know though.
I just noticed this guy's satchel, man.
He
Didn't
has a
notice that
satchel.
before. He's got a satchel, man.
Satchel, I don't know how it is in overseas, but Americans still, I feel like, are not very accepting of the satchel, bro. It's a big joke.
Because it's like feminine.
It's a purse.
Man,
they still call it a purse. So
yeah.
You know.
Do you know what I'm noticing a lot of people wearing now? Do you know those things that are essentially, they're called fanny packs?
Yes. Yeah.
The people that tours now, a lot of guys,
Yeah.
young guys now, people in their like teens and 20s, they're wearing them as a cross bag, and here, and they tip out, they take out their lip balm, and I'm like, what?
We call it. Hey.
Shane, listen, I could keep quiet. I have a CP one, and I do wear it for all. Like, see if, particularly when I was travelling, like for football, you'd have a battery pack or stuff like that in there. It was used for that.
Did you put your lip balm in it?
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, and my tampons.
So,
come on.
I think so I guess I got my answer. It is not accepted overseas, or at least in Ireland, it's not accepted.
Nor down south. You can't wear that down south.
It's just, I look at it and I kind of go, I see these young lads in their teens or their early 20s, and they're going to a music festival or something. They've got this fanny back, and I'm looking at it going, what are you doing? But like, I'm actually in my head, I'm like, you are old, man. You made some questionable fashion choices when you were younger. Like, you're just old now, and out of touch or whatever. Like so.
You tend to
You
see a
got,
lot
you got
more
your,
in
your
Europe.
pants pockets are filled with a phone and a wallet, and it's all like bulged out. They look cool and slim. Got that strap across.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, yeah.
I wish I got photos from the weekend because I actually took it out to Glasgow with me
Yeah.
because Lucy wanted the battery pack for the phones. But hey,
And you didn't get beat up?
Well, it's young
Listen,
guy.
I-
It's either young guys or rich guys, I guess.
No,
Maybe
listen,
that's
I've-
the acceptable.
that's fine. I can accept you saying that I look like a twat.
You're
I'm
really
with
not
you.
that sensitive, Ian, are you? I feel that like
Absolutely not.
we're related on some level. Like, 'cause- yeah.
Well, I'm with you. You know, I wear one, so that's why I'm
Oh,
saying
you
it's
were-
not accepted in
you
America
weren't
yet,
so
'cause-
forthcoming about that.
No,
Right,
well,
now I see.
no,
Oh, right.
I use one for work, not a satchel. I use the crossbody bag in it. I call it a sling, but it's the fanny pack thing.
That's funny because you were laughing as if we were in agreement, but you were laughing.
No, I'm laughing because I get it. Everybody jokes
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
okay,
You know,
okay,
my
okay.
coworkers call it a purse, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I have all the stuff I need for work, so I really don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to know that you're not sensitive, though, Eddie. You can take a joke.
Yeah,
though.
no,
I respect that. I respect that.
But I didn't even notice the satchel on this. That was a nice interesting runoff course.
Even
there, but,
Indiana Jones has a satchel.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But I like them. I missed them. They apparently, I'm in some chats, and that always helps to get the exclusive or the limited stuff. But I think I missed. Someone shared this in the group, and then I didn't see it until they said Cody sold out, and then the Airborne sold out like pretty much right when Cody did. So I didn't get lucky.
Actually, I'm actually gonna, at the risk of being absolutely destroyed here, when you say satchel, you talking about the small one, the little,
No, I'm talking about the bag.
as in that you could fit a laptop in.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually, no, man, fuck me. We're thinking about two different things.
No, I know
Because
what you're talking about too.
I'm
though.
talking about the crossbody one that I
Yes.
can't get on board with.
Yeah.
But I have one. Yeah, that's like a laptop bag. That it's like
Yeah.
bigger than a laptop. No, I get that. Yeah, that's not the thing I was talking about at all.
I approve. I approve
I'm,
of all
I'm
styles.
going to wear
I'm not
mine
a-
next week for the show.
You're very inclusive when it comes to bags.
Yeah.
And
well,
Of
I'm
course,
gonna
fill
pull-
down the bottom. Fill down the bottom has to be a small little bag. Yeah.
Of course.
I'm
Pouch.
going to. No, I'm going to pull out
Jesus.
of. Mine's is like the proper CP type, the Italian style. You pull out, but I'll pull out a can of
Makes it
Guinness.
You'll have a can of Guinness in it. Now I'm intrigued. Anyone else try to get this particular one?
Shane, see for me, if I was collecting these type of figures, I'd be all over this. I think this is fantastic. I just love the armory and the kind of the pauldron area. I really love it. The weathering's great. Yeah, but it's not what I collect. But I would be all over this one. The other one, Cody, yeah, whatever. But this, just something about it looks fantastic.
I think it looks cool, and I like it. Everything that Eddie said about it, like with the weathering and design. I swear, but I'm not gone on the actual mask, and it's weird, but I still think it looks cool. But I'm just not gone on the design choice. I think it's the sum of its parts. Looks cool with the camera and even the satchel. Like as much as we're joking, I think it's a cool inclusion. Like just those little details. It do, and yeah, the ammo on the shoulder, like Eddie was saying, that's cool, man.
I think that was based on an early Macquarie drawing for Stormtroopers.
Right. That would make sense. Yeah, I could see that. Anyone else try to get this? No.
No,
All right, let's
I've
talk about
got
the
the Cody,
other
but
tripper.
yeah. I
Did
didn't
you
realize
get
Cody
the
had sold
1.0
out.
or?
I had the 1.0 a while. It was probably the second figure after Mando that I purchased, but I didn't realize it had sold out. I thought it was a sitter, the original Cody.
It sat for a while, and then when it sold out, people went wild for it.
It skyrocketed, yeah.
Yeah,
I waited a while to pick one up.
So yeah,
It has
just
it has
Shadow
a
Wave.
like the original didn't come out with the Phase 1 helmet,
It didn't, no.
so it's different.
Mhm.
This one doesn't have USB though, right? I think I saw one person saying it's the same mechanism as the original light up was, like a swap out arm.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's
Sort
just a
of-
battery, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to go to fusion reactors and get that sorted.
Yeah. Cody's expensive, right? The original? He still sells for a good price, no?
Yeah, he's up in the 300s somewhere, at least 350. I don't know about now, but he was crazy for a while.
So is Phil the only one who picked this up? Eddie missed out. I have the 1.0. It's like 2 prequel figures. I have their boat. Troopers. I just think that Clone Pilot, and I really like the Cody design, to be fair. Like, it's yeah, but like that thing, back to the prequels thing, like I really like the design some of the design choices they made. Like, I really like the Naboo Starfighter and the Droideka. I really like the Droideka and Cody's armor and some of the clones. And do you remember, like, in episode 1, it's almost like a T shape. It's like almost like Thanos' ship that they use to deploy the tanks that carry the droids.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the design of that. Like,
so pointy.
Yeah. Cody is I really like the design of Cody. The one, this helmet here, this is the phase 1, would that be right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And the original only came with the phase 2.
Yeah.
There. I actually prefer the phase 2, to be fair, but it's pretty much the same figure, just they threw in another helmet and a few other holograms, because there's no separate rolling eyeballs function.
Nope.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I don't know why they haven't given you that. Because it's a really good head sculpt as well, so I think it would just elevate it by giving it the...
Yeah, and they've used it like 6 times now, so at least they could probably upgrade it at this point.
Yeah.
Eddie, if you do manage to get it, you got to be careful with on the left pauldron, that tiny antenna, and there's 2 or 3 sticky outy parts on the phase 2 helmets that are just they're just one false move away from breaking them.
As Star Cash 7 whatever mentioned, it was one of the ones I hadn't sold, so I remember having to deal with it.
I heard someone say the chest piece has got slightly bigger armholes on this one. Is that right? You come down deeper under the arm towards the bicep.
It's just with better articulation.
I don't know. I was watching.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I just looked at it.
Yeah,
that's a great pose.
Yeah,
I like that.
Definitely down here, down at the bottom.
Yeah,
of the,
that's right, Trevor. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's much deeper. I wonder if that's more accurate. Is that more accurate or just?
I think it's less accurate. I guess they've done it for maneuver praising but it's quite a significant difference.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Strange move.
Did we ever see Cody in phase 1 then? I don't think we ever saw Cody in phase 1.
Not in like you see him in Clone Wars, no?
Yeah, not in
like live action.
Not in phase 1 though.
Prequels.
No.
Is he in phase 1 though? Phase 1 armor. Yeah.
I think he is in Clone Wars. I don't remember though.
Probably in Clone Wars, in Flashback or something.
All right, you want to move on from this, or any other thoughts?
Yep.
Looks good.
What we've left to, I think, is Chopper, then Andor, then we're done. I think that's it. I have nothing really to say about this one, but can someone explain to me? It's not actually from. Okay, Chopper was in. I know he's from Rebels, and he was in Ahsoka, but he definitely didn't use this.
This was in Rebels. This was in Rebels.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, it's in like season 3 or something like that, is it?
Yeah, it was 1 or 2 episodes max. Probably just 1 episode.
So I've just started season 3. So he disguised himself, or did they paint him or what? Or
they paint him up, to fit in.
Okay.
So they can infiltrate.
Someone, I think Steve, Evil Sneaker, Figures in Fandom, on his show last night, he was saying that this is $10 cheaper than the original Chopper.
Yeah.
And I wonder, is that, and it comes with more, and I wonder, is that just because it's not Chopper? I know it's Chopper, but it's not the traditional. They'll know that maybe they'll sell more of the traditional version of Chopper, so they can price it higher, or is it like at the time they had the molds, so they had to justify that price, whereas this one it's essentially the same mold, just a repaint, and
I don't know. Yeah,
because they had the mouse droid already. They have all of this.
Yeah.
And I think they had a BD-8. Did they have a BD-8 style?
They had a BD-8
Droid
with
before?
somebody, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did
Didn't
Ray
it come in a
one?
droid pack or something?
Yeah, it did.
So they have the molds for all of this, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone
so it's a
picking this
repaint,
up?
straight up repaint, but it's such a deep cut, man. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Like one episode, you know what I mean? Even like the 000 and stuff. That was a whole comic book. That was like.
It has to be just the fact that it has the molds, and they can.
I mean, the original
they put it with
Chopper's still
ships.
not selling well, so it's quite an odd
Yeah.
one, this, I think. But
You need weeks like this, guys.
I'm surprised Chopper's not selling well. I don't
Shane,
get-
you need months. Like,
Yeah, you do. That's true, man. It's true. Yeah.
I think once Hera's sort of released, I think Chopper, people will be running for Chopper.
I
Yeah.
thought Chopper
Yeah.
sold out or went waitlisted. I thought he
Did
did.
it?
did it? I thought it was still.
I thought it was waitlisted.
Widely
I think it's
available.
waitlisted. Let me see.
Or you just.
I
based
thought I
on
looked a while.
Sideshow.
Yeah, I mean Sideshow, yeah. Sorry. I forget that you guys aren't using Sideshow as much as I am.
Yeah, there's a thing called a passport, and you can leave the good old states.
Once Hera out, Chopper will waitlist. Yeah, that's what Phil was saying as well.
Probably.
Yeah, look, we've one more thing to talk about. Really, look, we're not going to stay here all night talking about it, but just kind of closing thoughts on Andor season 2.
Garbage. Rubbish. I'd rather watch the Acolyte.
My work here is done, I guess. I don't
Get
know.
that man a drink.
There was just so well thought out. Like just even watching it back again, and I watched even season 2 episodes a couple times because I couldn't wait for my wife, so I had to watch them twice. There's for a guy, you know what? Here's an argument. This isn't gonna help you, Eddie. It's fine. But like for the people who said it doesn't have lightsabers and it's not Jedi and stuff, it's kind of like Tony Gilroy said this. It's like if you made a series of movies about the UK and it was just all about the royal family. Like other shit happened. Like people fought in wars. You know what I mean? So it's like this is that story. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I want to watch a movie about Shane though.
Ah, no.
Fuck you, asshole.
No. You watch your dirty damn mouth, man.
Fight!
No, man. No. How dare you?
There's a whole
He was waiting on that. You set him up. I'm pissed off with you too, Trevor. Sorry, go on, Trevor. What are you saying?
Ireland, it's its own thing now. But
No, it's been its own thing for a long time. So,
I know, but like whatever. Anyway,
Catch
it has nothing to
yourself
do with
on.
UK. I said the UK. I said the UK.
Catch your cell phone!
sorry, Trevor.
It's all right. There's just a whole galaxy of people who have never seen a lightsaber. You know what I mean? Have never seen a Jedi. Don't know they're legends. You know what I mean? So, yeah, all this took place before. They've been gone a long time, and there's plenty of stories out. I hope that we see more stories like this, not about this particular time, but just about different
because
stories that are out there that aren't Jedi related. You know what I mean?
The kids in the one episode had like puppets, ATSTs or whatever, didn't they? So
Yeah.
they were aware of the Empire. They weren't aware of.
Yeah,
Yes,
Jyn Erso had a
Jedi and-
stormtrooper doll. You know what I mean? It's like, they're aware of that stuff because it's in your face.
They got
all
the
the time.
marketing nailed.
That's right. Yes. Well, it's the ISB. There you go.
Yeah.
Essentially, for me, this show, apart from everything else we've said about how well it written and directed it was, it dealt with real world issues very well, from a war point of view, history, the things that happen in history on both sides.
That's one of the
And
things that Mike said.
Yeah,
He said
and-
that one of the reasons he liked it so much is it wasn't just like, here, believe what I believe. It was like, okay, this is the Empire, and they're essentially taking over, and here's a bunch of rebels, and they're trying to fight their way to freedom. But they're not perfect either. They do some fucked up stuff, and we're going to show you how much messed up stuff they do. And then even like the other people, by the end of it, as much as Dedra Miro is a whack job and she's evil, there's times you're like, you feel a bit like empathic towards her because of, you know, her upbringing and because of where she ends up and stuff like that. And it's they really paint both sides of the picture quite well.
Yeah, there's a lot of nurture there, right? I mean, she grew up in an Imperial orphanage, right? So, and like watching the Imperials, I think it's the greatest thing they did with the Empire in a long time was the show. You know, it made them scary again, and just the whole, you know, dog eat dog, like you got to do and impress
those stormtroopers in episode 8. They weren't missing much.
No, not missing people, and the whole, you can see how they ate themselves because it was constantly like trying to screw over this guy to get in front of the guy above you, but that guy above you has also got to like get to the guy above him and impress him, and he's got to impress the Emperor. You know what I mean? And at any minute, anybody could go like, "You screwed up. Bye. You're done." You know what I mean? And come here, you're next. It just like Vader, like choking out the, you know, his commanders and stuff. It's just like, well, too bad. No, you're out.
I will say, I think sort of Eddie's got the advantage now of being able to sort of smash season 2 out. I'll be honest, the first 3 episodes I was worried because I thought, oh man, this is slow, really slow. And I say only nine episodes after it, but I'm thinking, what are they going to do in 9 episodes? And
but that was like, that's a fair criticism. Like, even as me as I'm, whatever, call me a fanboy in the show or whatever, but it's like, I get that the conversations during the wedding were important, but fuck me, I didn't need to see their vows and whatever sort of. I didn't.
No, but in hindsight, I wouldn't have it any other way though. Now, you know, looking back, I can't wait to get the Steelbook 4K, Ian, 2-pack.
4K.
4K. I love the world building though. I like those little touches. 4K, like, I mean, yeah, did 4K. They get dragged out? And was the Yavin Rebel cruise a little dragged out for a full episode? Yeah, but it kind of did show the split in the Rebel Alliance. But I think they'd already shown that with Saw, you know. So there's some errors.
I found, you know, okay, we have the spoiler warning up now, but I'll still try to tiptoe around it. Andor talking to the head honchos in episode 12, I find it fucking infuriating. I was like shouting at the screen going, what have you actually done?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and they're completely disregarding. And it's like, this is politics. Even in the rebellion, you have these, like, you know, there's a hierarchy, and it's like the people that are doing the work on the street are still getting kind of not taken seriously. And it's like, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be here.
Brilliantly thought out, though. The fact that those people feel like they've sacrificed so much because they gave up their cushy senatorial jobs. Like, we're in the dirt, people. We've killed our own to get to this point. You know what I mean? And you don't even see that stuff. Like Mon, seeing him, you know, spoilers, kill a couple people. That woman that was trying to take them away, and her driver, like, she was. You know, it's like, welcome to the rebellion. I don't think I'm cut out for this. You know what I mean? She's been in some scary situations and putting her maybe life on the line for things, but not getting down in the dirt with it. So it was really cool. I love that. You know,
Clea, that was her. Clea, that was her. That actress, Elizabeth Dulau. That was her first acting job out of acting.
She was insane.
And as they were filming it, Tony was like, kind of going, this girl is really good, so they literally gave her more scenes. And that episode 9, I think it might be one of my favorite. I know everyone loves 8, or no, sorry, 10. 10, I'm talking about 10, but I know everyone loves 8, and rightly so, but I just thought, like, she bloody carried that episode.
Yeah.
Do you know what? A few things, like I know I want to actually go to sleep, but they write female characters so well without going, look, it's a woman. You know what I mean? It's they actually like, you know, it's like, okay, they are like, they have their backstory, they're well acted, what they're saying is tough. It's not an issue that they're okay, they're women and they're overpowered and they're dwarfing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's well written female characters up there with the likes of Sarah Connor, a Ripley and Leia and Padme, whatever. Well written. And even like the evil ones are like, Man, I'm intimidated by you. You're
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would not
Which
like to be
was-
working with you.
Groundbreaking for Star Wars: A New Hope, because back then, she was made a princess that they were rescuing, but she kind of took over, and then they showed who she was in this rebellion, and she's basically kind of leading this thing, which is cool. I mean, there was some criticism I saw by some of the commentators on YouTube of Bix's treatment. I thought they gave her enough to do. Yeah, she sacrificed, for Cassian. Which is like, oh, well, it's the woman behind the man. But, like, she saw something, and I think she may have been, like, a little force sensitive. You can make the argument that she kind of, like, felt like there's something special. He has a mission. He has to go on this. It has to be him. He's seen me all the way through this.
And
she
plus,
wanted
given the
something out of it.
circumstances...
She didn't want them to lose. And she's sacrificing her happiness so that they don't lose, basically.
At the same time, her outlook would be reprioritized.
Meaning
there was more than the reason you just described for her to.
Oh well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which
like either one of those are legit, but
yes, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
That's spoiler.
Still,
you can spoil it.
She did that basically because she knew he wouldn't then go on, especially in that situation. So, I mean, we're dancing around it because everybody knows what the hell we're talking.
Apart from Eddie.
Andy, does anyone under
Yes.
does anyone under 40 like
Annie?
Andor?
Wow, that's how hated I am here now. I've been resorted to prequel named characters.
Annie Manda.
Annie Mendez.
It was just a joke. I know there's a couple, but I think that is part of it. I think more mature people like this show.
We're not mature. Have
Yeah,
you met
you know what? I was trying to be nice,
Fucking
bro.
hell, Eddie.
Just stick with older.
I think an older
Is he in
demographic
Frozen?
resonates with this kind of.
In shock.
Oh, am I? You son of a. Because the 2 points, I respect you guys, but the 2 points.
Oh, you
The one that Trey made, or Trevor, my bad, Trey. The one that Trevor made and the one that Ian made, I hate those points, dude. They're so
points?
like when Trevor said it's like having Star Wars is like making a show only about the royal family.
Well,
because
we've had movies about the
it's not.
Skywalkers
Yeah.
forever.
I
The
know,
Skywalkers
but
are
it's
the royal
like with
family
Marvel.
of Star Wars.
It's like with Marvel. Would you watch if they made a show about one of the dudes flying the ship in Marvel, like the big ship that the Samuel L. Jackson is on? Would you
If
watch
it was
that?
as good as Andor, I would, man. I would.
Or
That's
in
the
Lord of the
reality.
Rings. In Lord of the
If there was a
Rings, are you
bigger
watching?
story
Are you watching
for-
anything about one of the people in the towns? Like, there's not a show on
If there
any
was
of
an
them.
adventure, yeah. I
It's
would.
about the
Well,
12.
actually, didn't they make that show about Lord of the Rings from Amazon? And
Yeah,
it was
look
about
how
one
well that's
sidecar-
doing.
Yeah, but it wasn't good. But the thing
well
is, this one is well done.
That was my point previously. If this show
right,
wasn't
sorry.
good, people wouldn't watch. Like it's not. It needs something. It's still like I respect
Yeah, but
your
it's like
guys'
it's like
opinion
the
and
Lord of
it's
the
good,
Rings,
but it's
the
not.
trilogy. Is the Hobbit?
Right.
I mean, the Hobbit. Not forget the Hobbit movies. The Hobbit is the lead up to Lord of the Rings. If he didn't find the ring, there wouldn't be a Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? And that was an adventure unto itself. You know what I mean? And yes, there were heroes, but there's heroes in this. They're just not all Jedi and magicians and
You wouldn't have-
like,
Yeah, but the Hobbit didn't do well. I love the
it's like
Hobbit,
saying
but
this is basically Andor's in the mold of Han Solo. Like it's like saying like if it was Han Solo that was part of the early rebellion and not just some guy who
No,
came
'cause
on to
Han-
give them a ride. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but I'd watch a movie on Han Solo.
arguably Andor did more than Han Solo did.
It's still Andor. It's not Han Solo.
But
it's just I don't like the argument because it's like that's what people want to see. Like, and I know people had.
I would argue back that like I thought that
Yeah.
the sequels were going to be about. Then they showed Broom Kid. I'm like, okay, this is going to be about regular people can be Jedi. You don't have to have
Lame.
necessarily midi-chlorians and like
I
be a
hate that argument.
Skywalker and like you can learn to use the Force. Like the woman. Well, I mean, this is spoiler.
Oh!
In Andor, another
You see, you're tiptoeing the line now. when everyone
Well,
is
there is-
special,
there
no
is
one
some
is.
Already, there's some force in there.
When everyone is special, no one is, and I hate that, dude.
No,
So-
And I never grew up.
You don't have to.
And I had this argument
all-
with. Well, we're gonna get off onto a tangent.
No. Go on. Well,
have to
well,
be
No,
special.
because
You
I had
still
this
have
argument
to-
with Marco. I'm not
You still have
white.
to be special.
I am not white, and I never grew up thinking I don't like Han Solo because he's white. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, you're saying like regular people. I'm not white, so technically I would have been a regular person, and I never grew up thinking that. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought I had to be. I was special because
I'm not a
I'm
regular
special. That's the whole. I mean, is that not
Say it
what a
again.
regular person is? Because you said regular people, you don't need metachlorians, you don't need this. Well,
Yeah,
all white people
I
had
kind of like the
metachlorians.
idea.
So it's like, I don't like the whole argument of special means.
Privileged is a different thing, you know. What
Oh,
I mean?
okay.
Like, I
Maybe
think,
we were off on different ideas there, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
not saying
love the whole.
privilege.
Okay.
I'm saying if you
With
if
the
you
mi-
learn
the-
to use the Force, you could be a Jedi. You have to train. You have to
Yeah.
do a lot of work. I mean, they didn't set that up well with Rey, but like whatever. I guess she had blood. You know, but you could. You know, she could have been training all these kids who had like a little Force sensitivity. And
You're right.
could have been great Jedi if they trained. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Not that
And,
everybody is.
There's a point there. I'm trying to establish something. So, with say Luke, Eddie,
Yeah.
like, do you think like would you want him to be like born special, as in like he can use the Force because of I don't know what, like, as in because his father used the Force, like, is it like a lineage thing, or are you saying that someone who like are people born predisposed to be able to use the Force? Is that the idea you like, or do you like the opposite idea?
To me, I thought, I don't know the best way to explain this. I guess I thought anybody could be born a Jedi. I didn't think, oh, Luke is a Jedi because his dad was a Jedi. I didn't ever think that. I just thought, oh, here's this random kid in the middle of nowhere that became a Jedi. And then, you know, you learn that, like, oh, his dad is this and that. But that didn't deter me from thinking, like, oh, here's this random kid that became a Jedi. And you don't really know any of the other Jedi. You know, greatness can come from anyone. I never took it as, like, oh, you have to have this special thing in your blood that makes you... I just thought, oh, this guy
The
has...
prequels kind of told us that, though, didn't they? Like, the prequels told us that, like the original trilogy, there was always like, wasn't it the whole like the Force flows through us and binds us?
Yeah,
So it was
and then in
almost-
the prequels, they show
it was
Anakin,
almost
who's born.
It was almost
above
like a
all of
genetic
them.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but that still never deterred. That I never thought, oh, I could have never been a Jedi. I just thought, oh, I would have been, if I was in Star Wars, I would have been born with all the metachlorians. I never, you know what I mean?
But
Like,
you
I
would have
don't
been a
get how-
Sith just to begin.
Yeah.
We know
Because I'm
we're
brown.
going to be a Sith. Yeah. That's not what I meant at all.
I know.
I'm gonna use.
Ouch!
I'm gonna use your Lord of the Rings thing against you because
Okay.
like they are regular people. The hobbits were not born with any special,
Right.
abilities or anything like that. They rose above their limitations to become heroes, which is exactly what's happening in Andor. You know, it's not. I wasn't born the son of
The
Darth.
regular ones aren't cool,
I mean, you
though.
talk about Rey being a Mary Sue. You got to make the argument that Luke's kind of a bit of a Mary Sue, man. Like he went to Dagobah for a week, and like all of a sudden he's defeating Darth Vader. Come on.
I guess I didn't.
Well, he didn't defeat him.
articulate my Lord
He
of the
didn't
Rings
defeat him.
comment.
He got his hand cut off by his father.
The regular ones aren't cool.
I love
Legolas
the-
is cool. Aragorn is cool. Gandalf is cool. Nobody gives a flying fuck about Frodo.
Sam is the hero.
Hey,
of the Lord of the
that
Rings.
reminds me though.
Yeah, Sam
Eddie,
is redeemed.
I have a
later.
meme to send. I have a meme to send you called Frodo Cop. You're gonna love it, right? 2 things you hate in the one photo. So,
But
yeah,
I don't know. I just it was just
can
I don't think I know that argument has been around for a while with Star Wars. Is like everything's focused. It's a galaxy far, far away, but it's so small because of the characters they focus on. I've never had an issue with that. And then to Ian's point that I also didn't love is like I don't need anything to be tied to real world issues to enjoy it. In fact, it annoys me a little bit because like that's not why I'm watching movies. I have enough real world. I pay attention to politics a little more now, not probably not nowhere near as much as you guys do, but like, I kind of hate that needs to be a selling point, like it was for Batman. Like
that was Star Wars, though. That was the original trilogy.
Yeah, and art has always imitated life.
It's the rebels.
So, Eddie,
I mean, that's been going on throughout history. Not even now, but
it's a little more hyper realistic now, though.
Well, that's
especially with what's going
now,
on.
Not what they filmed. They filmed this a while back. You know, I mean, this is a theme, man. This has been going on for years and years. Like has nothing to do with.
But I think that's what Mike was saying. Like, okay, I'm going to pick a completely different. Did you watch She-Hulk?
Yes.
Did you feel that like for watching it you were nearly being scolded because you were a man?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like I thought that there is a kind of almost like a narrative there that's kind of like they're trying to get across, and it's like, what I'm paying for this. I'm paying for this subscription. Yeah. I want to watch this, and it's like, what's this about? Whereas I do think with Andor, they do like they make it let you kind of make up your own mind. There's like, it's not like one side is textbook evil and one side is textbook better. Yeah, I know the Empire are evil, I get that, but there's more dimensions to the characters, and the same way like the rebels, like you know, in the grand scheme of things,
the audience. I don't like that either. I get it's cool for some, like they try to manipulate the audience into like, well, I could see where the Empire is coming from. Sorry, I saw Ian's thing and meant to say bye, but anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like what did I watch recently? Oh, like with Last of Us season 2, you know. I feel like the writer there for the show was really specific on why they did what they did. And they wanted to bring an emotion out of you and create an emotion for these other characters, which I feel they didn't need to do in order to make the show good. And that's how I feel with Andor. Like they try to manipulate you into liking the Empire. They try to, you know, and it's like, it just feels like I'm being manipulated as a watcher, which could argue to a good show or it could argue to a bad show. I guess it depends on your view.
I think that's what a show does, though. I
mean, your emotions are meant to be manipulated anyway. Yeah, like, but sometimes it's not enough for me as a Star Wars fan. I'm not going to excuse shitty writing, and as a Star Wars fan, I was kind of going like, yeah, like I'll always watch this stuff, you know, within reason. Like I haven't watched the Skeleton Crew, I haven't watched the Bad Batch. Maybe I'll get around to, maybe I won't. But like the flagship shows, like, you know, I have the Disney Plus subscription. I sit down and I watch them, and I like by default I'm like, you know, I'm already a Star Wars fan, guys. You should be able to bring me home with this. And then you get Ahsoka, and I'm like, this is insulting. Like same as Book of Boba Fett and parts of Kenobi. But then, you know, with the argument of like, if you say something you don't like something, oh, you're toxic. No, you're not toxic. You just
hate that too.
You like better.
Yeah.
Better. Like what do you want? You don't even know what you want. It's like, and I've said it before, long before Andor came out. It was like, I just want, give me a good story with good acting, good dialogue, and action and stuff like that. Yeah, and like I know Andor, and on the action scale, yeah, it's not on the highest action. I get that, I accept that. But when it goes off, it goes off, and at the end of the day, I think they've given me what I wanted, that I've been asking for years. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. And but like, yeah.
For instance, the manipulative thing I was talking about. So like there's a lot of that happening in today's cinema, and it's like, it's just annoying to me. Like the new Mufasa, for instance, they try to make it seem like, oh, you see why Scar is evil. You know, they try to have these stories for these characters you grew up not liking, to try and like, oh, I see their point of view now, and it goes, and at the very heart of it.
You mean like the prequels?
Wow,
Darth Vader?
So? Oh, that's a fair point. That is
isn't that the whole story of Darth Vader?
I mean, Vader redeemed himself at the end of the original trilogy, so do you ever really hate Vader?
Well, all is forgiven.
I mean,
I'm sure the mothers of those younglings are pretty annoyed. Himself.
But I mean, at the very, very heart of that lesson that like you can relate to anybody, I feel at the very heart of that is what you don't like, Shane, is that like, oh, it's all perspective, and it's all how you see things, and it's all like, you know, that very toxic group of people that I don't like.
I'll come back on that. Like, say there's a character that ends up, an Imperial character that ends up in a place where I really don't want to be. And you're kind of going, all right, well, if you look at the full journey and that they had from start to finish, like, okay, they never really had anyone. But at the same time, they still made their decisions and they deserve to be where they are. I'll still say that. I'm still not going to erase.
In Andor?
Yeah.
The
Like, there's a few
lesbian chick.
examples
lesbian?
in it, like.
You're talking about?
Pardon?
Is it the lesbian chick you're talking about?
No. It's kind of, yeah. Like I saw
spoilers. You can spoil it. I think
someone sent me it's Dedramiro.
okay.
Ruin.
Like,
okay.
with just one example of it.
It's not gonna
like,
ruin my opinion.
She grew up in an imperial like orphanage essentially because her parents are criminals. And that explains so much. Like, I like that thought and that they put the planning in, because I'm like, in season 1, I'm like, why is she like this? Do you know what I mean? No one is that committed to that. She's like she's like a company man for the Imperials. This is messed up. But then when they peel it back and they show you why she's like this, okay, that makes perfect sense why she's like this. Mm-hmm. But she is still evil, and the things she's doing are wrong. And what she ends up with, I'm still like, no, she deserves to be where she is. As much as her path that she was put on ended up kind of, developed her personality and stuff like that, and she still ends up where she should be. I'm not like, oh, you should set her free. Like, my brother-in-law a few years back sent me like this meme. It was a screenshot from Michael Myers from the original, is it 1970? Is it 78?
It's
Halloween, or is it 79? Halloween, the first Halloween? The first Halloween. And it was like, he's a cold-blooded killer. He needs to be locked in jail or whatever. And then the other one is like one from a recent one going, he's just misunderstood. And I'm like, I think that's, if that's what you're saying, I completely get that. That's like, no, like, you do certain things, you should be, no one can explain why people do things like that. Maybe they can't even, like, there has to be a consequence. I'm not okay with let's make the bad guys good.
I think at the base of it, that's my complaint, and it just picking apart. I feel like Andor is picking apart everything, and it.
But I don't think they do that. That's my point. I think
I know you want it, Trevor, and I think there's a lot of people that want that. And
no, I want to know what I want to. I'm trying to get to the heart of what you don't like about this. I really
it just goes into the minutia of like the difference between us. I think is that you wanted more from that world, and I never needed more. Mm-hmm. I never needed anything more. To me, the OT is enough. To me, the prequels are enough. To me, Clone Wars gives me the more that I wanted. The Rebels gives me the more that I wanted. They dove deep.
But how would you feel if they stopped making content now?
Or Clone Wars is so long. There's the 8 seasons of Clone Wars to get
7.
But that's in between 7. Between two
see
movies,
that feeling that you get from that
filling. It's like there's so much filler there that like you didn't need 8 seasons.
To me, all of Andor is filler.
Here to here. This is a story of like how did Luke Skywalker walk into like, I'm getting off Tatooine. Oops, I'm on the Death Star. Oh, I got off I'm not belittling it. What I'm getting at is the gist of the story.
100%.
I'm in an X-Wing to destroy this Death Star. How do we know to destroy this Death Star? There's a whole story behind that. What's the story?
Yeah.
It's a great story, and it is a great story, and it's the people who sacrificed so that Luke Skywalker could look like the hero of the universe, the galaxy, the universe. And there's so many more people behind that you never even hear the stories of in our own world. And there are interesting stories. It's like saying like, well, America won, World War II. Well, okay, first of all, we didn't. Everybody. There was a lot of people who won World War II, and there's people who spied, whose stories will be gone, but they're super interesting about what they had to do to break a code. There's a whole movie about breaking codes in World War II. That's a great movie starring Dr.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
He was
great.
They killed him in real life.
It's the Imitation Game, isn't it?
Imitation Game.
Is it Turing? Is it Edmund Turing?
Alan Turing.
They killed him. They killed him.
Yeah, incredible story about breaking the code of the Nazis. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but whatever. Incredible movie, and has nothing to do with battles or beaches or anything, man. It's great. That's what this is, and it's a great story about the people who got those plans and made the people who blew up the Death Star heroes and saved the galaxy. It's a great story.
That right there is why, that is exactly how I'm trying to explain it, that I don't care about. That I think there's a lot of people like Trevor that wanted that. And for me, I never cared. Luke Skywalker is all I care about. Han Solo is all I care about.
I care
Darth
about them
Vader.
too. I love that story. I love that
These
heroism,
guys
but this
don't
is-
add to that for me.
But,
Oh, I
but technically,
totally
technically, Eddie,
I
you
mean-
had your story with Clone Wars, didn't you?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you had that. I know it was animated, different, but you
Yeah.
had the
Yes,
prequel
okay, so
story with
yes.
the Clone Wars.
If your point is
So
my
Mike,
it was fleshed out for me in Clone Wars, yes. I didn't need it to go as deep as Andor did.
Mike. All right.
That's what and then when people, I don't know if they're doing it out of maliciousness or not when they say like Eddie just enjoys lightsabers, and I mean, I do appreciate a good story, but at the same time, like,
'cause
I care about the main characters, I care.
Yeah,
the
like,
Jedi
I
are
get-
cool.
I get where you're coming from, because it is an age thing at the end of the day. I grew up with the original trilogy, and I love this story because it gives an insight of where that story came from. Whereas if you grew up with prequels, the Clone Wars has given you an insight into what
Yeah,
happened.
that's a
with
good way to
Anakin
put
and
it.
Ahsoka and everything.
That's a good
So
way.
I can't disagree with what you're saying, because your perspective is from a prequel side of things, whereas for me, it's
I will
I think-
agree with you, Eddie, in that, like, after Return of the Jedi, and I saw all these things in theaters. Yes, I'm old. I didn't need, like, my first thought was like, wow, I wonder how they got those plans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, if somebody said we're going to make a whole series of movies about how they got the plans, I'd be like, fucking cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But it's good. But it's fucking
I
good.
think this
And
comment
here's
by
the thing with the Lord
Stanley
of the
is
Rings.
outrageous.
Oh,
I said it earlier
That's-
to
Stanley's
be funny
just
too.
he's trolling. Sorry.
That's outrageous.
But
like,
there's
the thing
there's a
is,
whole
like,
movie
do
they're
you
gonna do
know?
about, go ahead.
Sorry, just like I think like say like Eddie or anyone, like when you like something so much, you kind of want your friends to like him too, so you can kind of connect and bond over that thing.
Yeah.
And like that's what I kind of part of it as well. But like I think the go-to example that I'm always kind of like giving you shit about is RoboCop, like, and I think it's a good example because it's like I've accepted as like, okay, you're never gonna like that movie, but I still bring it up as a joke. But it's like,
Yeah.
all it is an attempt to, it's another thing you have in common that you can buzz about and stuff like that. But like, I appreciate it that you're able to put across your point of view and not feel pressured to liking it, especially when you've been outnumbered twice, like on the tonight and the other one, but you're still not like caving. I do like that, and I don't agree with your viewpoint on it, but I appreciate that you're vocalizing it, and we just have it's like that agree to
Do
disagree.
you guys
thing.
think there's an element of age here too? I mean,
Well, of
and not
course
age
there is. Like, I mean,
well, no, not
Eddie
in like we
likes
saw
the
original
prequels,
trilogy.
and
No. I'm talking about like, appreciating like the kind of sacrifice and stuff that people are doing for in Andor. I don't know. I don't know. If
Maybe.
it's coming with
It
age
could be a
because
generational
about
thing.
like the hero.
like
and I'm
I'm not gonna lie. The
the more regular people, and you've gone through life and like I'm not. What am I? What I have a good life. I've done some things, but I'm not. I don't know. Just seeing regular people doing heroic things. I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna lie. When this
there's
is so
something to
messed
that.
up, like because like I didn't like history in school, and looking back, it was like the teacher like didn't do much to make me like it either. And we learn about all like the not getting political here, but I'm just going to explain it. So obviously, like Ireland was taken over by the English for 800 years and stuff like that, and there was a rebellion and all that. It did actually make me think it's so ridiculous. Like I learned about all this stuff in history and yada yada, but in the show I'd be like, man, that must have been. I know it's a galaxy far away and blasters and stuff like that, but the kind of like the spy nature and the guerrilla warfare of it, like, and the questionable things that the rebels had to do, like realistically, Irish people had to do that. Questionable stuff as well about 100 years ago more, and there was bloodshed on both sides, and there was both sides did terrible things,
Wrong
and
and right.
it's
Black and white, gray.
and it's not black and white, and it's that definitely did play on my mind, but at the end of the day, it's like I didn't really give too much
Right,
thought.
the grayness
Just kinda
of it. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and
Like, not
I
black
do.
and white.
I think that's an
There's black,
interesting
there's white,
concept.
and there's
I think
gray.
that's
Yeah.
it's like it's not as. So I found that concept interesting, but like
Yeah.
you know, I appreciate maybe.
Saw Gerrera is in that spectrum. Like there's one one play
Yeah,
that in there, and then
I think
brought
did
that-
you like? It gave
was
me
gonna
what I
say-
wanted from a TV show,
Yeah.
and I know that
It-
different people have different ideas of what they want from a TV show, and I think I just have to accept
I don't-
different points of view.
Go ahead, Phil.
It brought that galaxy far, far away a little bit closer to home, if you know what I mean. So it was, you could relate, and not relate because I've been through that, but historically, yeah, that's the sort
Maybe.
of thing.
And to be absolutely,
Maybe that's
absolutely just hands in the air, I have not been through any of that stuff because
No.
I live a
No.
I live a life of privilege because other people
exactly.
Yeah.
done that, like or like
Right.
hundreds of years or whatever. Like so, it's
Well,
like,
maybe that's it, Eddie. Maybe this is it. This is
Relatable?
escapism from you. You said it before. Like you don't want to be the reminded of things. Things are going on now, currently in our world. Let's say, not to get political, but like that. Like you think that they're putting this in your face and going, "Oh, look, this is happening," and this is.
Yeah.
And you want escapism. You want like
Yeah.
escapism from that, and just like pew pew Jedi
Yeah.
stuff. I get that. I get that. And this might be a generational thing too. You're a little older than you're not though. You're in your 30s. Like you didn't go like kids with COVID graduated online on a computer. You know what I mean? There's been
Yeah.
a lot of crap that I gotta be honest. Like we went through some crap. We had to hide under our desks in the 80s. For like nuclear warfare tests and things like that and alarms. But like you guys have gone through a lot of crap, man. It's been a rough world as it's gotten bigger and tighter, and maybe you need more escapism than again in an age where we're thinking about the world around us and it's a little tighter, I guess.
That also might be
I don't know,
super.
maybe that's it. Maybe you don't want to be reminded of the stuff that's
Yeah.
kind of happening in the world and just want like pew pew happy hero stuff and we're out.
That's
Maybe
a good
that's it.
point too.
Maybe
I think
that's
that's super
I've-
situational too. For me.
I've
I fell in that shit.
I've given up. I've accepted. I've
I'm getting
accepted
there.
that he doesn't
So
like Andor.
So I think. Oh, you've given up on me.
Not giving up on you. Definitely not giving up on you. Never
changing
mind.
my opinion of it. Maybe in 10 years I'll like Andor more.
Listen, we'll all be dead. So no, we won't be. Hopefully not.
I
Hopefully
do
not.
think that. I think when we have these conversations, because it's so interesting for the viewers and people like funny stuff, and I'll say like, "Oh, I hate Andor" and all this. I do think Andor is the best thing we've gotten in a long time from Star Wars, especially from Disney. So like, I don't think it shouldn't exist. I just think it annoys me that it's like the best thing around right now and everybody loves it, because I'm like, damn, it's not Mandalorian and it's not the Jedi, and like
It's not
so
giving you
when
a
people
new
are like it's the
story,
best
it's-
thing, I'm like,
yeah,
it's
I
not.
get-
But
I get it.
and then Rebels, to your guys' point, the last thing I'll say, Rebels is like when Rebels went on the backstory of the Force, and we got all that like where the Force originated, and it was like heavy in that in Rebels. I love that so much because it like that. That was something I didn't know I wanted when I watched it, and so like Andor could be that for people like they didn't know they needed this fleshed out story of the original trilogy and stuff. So
it's interesting because I think back of like when I was younger, like I wanted more magic. I believed in a lot more stuff. You know what I mean? Like I wanted there to be a
lost the
Bigfoot.
magic.
I wanted there to be. No, I didn't think I lost the magic. I'm just like I've been around. You know what I mean? And I'm like I want to see the magic in the world and like what you can pull out from inside you, and you know what I mean? Like I liked the story of Andor because it was regular people fighting against an insurmountable enemy. You know what I mean? Whereas I still love Star Wars, man. I still watch it, but yeah, I think I'm understanding where you're coming from, man. I think
because
it's generational a little bit.
The original trilogy are like Clone Wars season 1 to 4, and Andor is like season 5 to 7. of the Clone Wars. You know, it's moved along with our generation in a way. It's become adult. My boy couldn't sit and watch Andor. He wouldn't have a clue what's going on.
Which is what they've said. It's Star Wars for adults now. Like that's what.
Or for the original trilogy fan. It's. It's
who are in their
into,
40s and 50s now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and Stanley said, you know, Eddie likes entertaining shows, which I know it's slightly a joke.
This is where we're like,
that's my point. Is
okay.
Yeah, exactly. You got to define what's entertaining to you, because it's entertaining to you. So that's
I
where
think
we
it's what
differ.
you're looking for in entertainment. Do you
we don't.
And I'm not saying like you're not intellectually challenged. I'm saying like, do you want to be like confronted with things that might be hard to feel, or do you just want? I want to go to the movies to just feel like, hey, there's heroes, and I could be a hero. You know what?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of that.
What I'm saying is, you know, I think I'm getting it, man. I think I'm getting it for sure.
I think all of our '90s generation wanted a hero. Maybe '80s, later '80s too. Like I grew up in the era of heroes, and I don't really like regular people. So when you guys keep saying regular people, I don't think I like most people. So I always thought it's cooler to have to think of somewhere there's someone better than humans that like makes the right decisions and is all good, like Luke, or like. But then they ruin that. But like, you know what I mean?
That are that person though in Andor. There are. It's a little gray.
Yeah.
It's a little gray. It's not black and white. It's not evil, Sith and light. But it is. There are people like that in there, man.
Guys, I thoroughly enjoyed that episode. Thanks very much for coming on, to Trevor and Phil and Eddie and everyone else who kind of joined us there as well. So Ian and Dan. And Bob, did I miss anyone? No. I think there was 7 of us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone in the chat as well. And on that note, folks, we're out. I'm sad it's over, the show and Andor, but yeah. Look, hopefully they give us something else good now and whatever.
We'll always have Andor except for Eddie who snapped it. So
yeah. All right, folks, we're out of here. See you next week. Probably drops. I bet you be drops tomorrow now. See you guys. Bye.
Wolverine.